and let me know when Sion and Marauder get their game up, and we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, the game is up.
Perfect.
Oh, well, no, it's still stuck on just Scientific.
I think they both have to
has...
join before observers are able to join, if I understand correctly.
Yep. I'm not sure if I've ever observed the game or if it's been a long time.
That's
So,
cool. Get to see it in action. It's been really nice for the tournament.
Yeah, we've like done a bunch of seen a bunch of bugs that need to be fixed, obviously, but also look for a few random quality of life things we're working on.
Yeah, the big one I think that I would love as a observer, and I posted about it, so it's not anything new here, but it'd be really cool to be able to see what the player can see and only what they can see with like a hotkey, because it's really nice. Because it'd be really cool to see them missing, like they missed that unit by 1 in the fog, or they, like that kind of stuff, because it makes the entertainment value of watching as an observer that much more. Should be able to join now.
Right. Okay, cool. I mean, normally it shows the units in the fog, but you can still see it's in the fog. It makes it a little easier to parse if it hides them too.
Yeah, you'll see as an observer though. So if you come in an observer right now, see how we have the whole map revealed. You can kind of get around that by clicking the show timeline screen at the top. But other than that, you can't really see what they've scouted versus. Anyways.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, the fog of war has been revealed. Yeah, I wondered about that. Yeah, that's right. I remember sometimes them the observers jumping to that screen to kind of figure it out, because that is super important.
Yeah, I feel like I should probably intro us, as we just started kind of in the middle of a conversation, and also
cold open.
Yeah, it was a bit of a cold open. Anyways, hey guys, we are going to be watching the Marauder versus Siontific match. This is in the bottom bracket, so each of these players have already lost 1 time. There's 2 losses to be out of the tournament, so they're both playing for their tournament life right now. We have, this is FilthyRobot. We're broadcasting on Alcurs's channel today, and we're joined by Soren, whose game this is. So hopefully some interesting insights there. And you haven't observed in a while, so that'll be kind of fun to see you experience that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a real pleasure to see the tournament play out with so many players and so many games going on. And sometimes I've been trying to watch all the ones. Sometimes it's literally impossible because you got multiple games going on at the same time. But yeah, it's been really cool, especially to see a bunch of names succeed that I wasn't really familiar with before the tournament.
Yeah, definitely some new names popping up. And then I think also the other cool part has been there's so much coverage of this that I think nearly all of the matches have been recorded, and now they're on a playlist hosted on the Mohawk YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to go through and catch any of the previous matches, all the segments are pretty much there. I think there are probably a few exceptions, mostly early in the tournament, but everything recent has been broadcast, which is super cool.
Yep, there's definitely been some notable games where some interesting stuff has happened, which usually ends up being discussed in that week's design meeting, right? So, we've already had some. The game is different now than when the tournament began, based off of some of the stuff. Especially notably that rule of leaders now being immune to a bunch of the sort of like special statuses, like can't be stunned, can't be enlisted, all that stuff.
I really like multiplayer for pressure testing the systems of a game, because if there's anything in there that can be exploited or tweaked for a little bit of advantage, once you start getting competitive multiplayer, people are gonna find it. So it's a really cool pressure test of a system, I think.
Yeah, like that was all based off of that game with Fluffy, where who is the person who did the tactician rush and stunned his 1 unit, and he just got trapped. And then there was all the discussion of like, oh, he could do this or he could do that, but at the same time, Oro was just doing his economy like normal, and like it would have taken pretty much a miracle for Fluffy to come back. And
yeah, it's tough because there's so many factors going on in that game. Like Oro was able to do so much with reinforcement because he's Carthage. Fluffy got Oro mind gamed that a little bit, picked a bigger map deliberately to get Fluffy to relax a little bit, and then Fluffy settled clerics instead of champions. There's all these little things going in there as well, which make it tough to evaluate that in isolation. But yeah, stunning when there's only 1 unit in the game, or 2 units, stunning 1 or half of them is a pretty big deal. Whether or not that change fixes that entirely, I don't know. We'll see what that comes out of it. Because anyways, it's interesting to see though.
And I didn't want to. Yeah, and I didn't want to. I initially had this sort of panic of like, oh my gosh, are all the games going to descend into this? And you'd be able to see pretty quickly if that's true, because it's not it's devastating, but there are a lot of other things that need to go right for that to work out. But at the same time, it's like there should be some sort of counterplay. But I didn't want to nerf Carthage. I didn't want to nerf Tacticians, and so it seemed like the most interesting change. Like ideally, you come up with some change that's interesting in other ways as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. What if we make the leader also more kind of like a super unit, right? That's immune to a bunch of other things. Like that, just in and of itself, seems interesting, especially since oftentimes you want your leader, to be taking action out in the battlefield, right?
Yeah, although it comes with, it's a mixed blessing, right? Because it by making a change like that, it changes the relative balance of like a governor leader compared to a general leader. You know, for
Sure.
a player who's now playing and you can't attach a unit to you can't attach a general to a stunned unit. So what this means is if you are governing with your first leader and
Yep.
your unit gets stunned, that unit is still dead. You can't do anything about it. You can't midway through
Oh
that
yeah.
stun process then put somebody on it. So yeah, it's evaluating those are so hard. So yeah, I am
Yep.
excited. I'm excited to see kind of what comes out of this tournament as a whole for changes. It'd be lovely, almost maybe this could be a Fluffy thing, our task Fluffy with this, to get some summary in one of his blog posts about the changes that have been a direct result of the community tournament, because that might be kind of fun to track,
Sure.
like what came out
Yeah.
of this, you know. So
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
should we talk a little
Um,
bit about the game in progress?
yeah. What are they? So have they chosen? You go ahead. I'll color comment.
I think neither of them chose anything right now. So my understanding is Marauder picked the map, and the map we're playing on is a tiny, which is the second size. So dual is the smallest, and square, which is the smallest of the of what you can do, square, wide, or ultra wide for this setting, right? So this is the smallest of the second size map, and then the map script also impacts the size a bit based on essentially the water compressing the land. And I think let me just see which one they've chosen here. They've chosen continent. Continent is the smallest of the three scripts mostly being played in this tournament. Those being coastal rain basin, inland sea, and continent. So this is size 2, smallest is how to think about this. And what this
Yeah.
means is they're horizontally across the screen, they're not too far apart from each other. It's still a chunk of distance, but it's not super far either. But there's a lot of verticality to the map on top of that, which means that if you want to do some sort of strategy where you're expanding directly to the middle, you run the risk of getting tribal raided and harassed all on your back line and kind of order taxed with that. But at the same time, if you're too slow to the middle, your opponent will take those non-symmetrical settles. And looking at this, there are 2 of those. We've got the Thracian camp in the very middle and the Danes camp as well with that nice ore setup. And then a little bit of a water body that taking control of that will allow some good movement between those 2 locations. So kind of an interesting map, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it is small. So which one actually chose the size?
Marauder chose the map. So,
Okay.
and I believe that means Sion got the choice of pick. I don't know if he chose to pick first or second, but it looks like he chose to take first pick and he chose Persia. And then Marauder followed up immediately with a Carthage pick. So interesting to see Sion pick what is not pick rather what is considered the strongest civ right now for this, the strongest nation,
Right.
despite having first pick. And it may be something to do with the map. If we look at the resources in the capital, there's a cattle and
Lots of
pigs, both which are husbandry resources. Yeah.
yeah.
And horses, yeah. So he may be basically saying, I want these Persian orders, and Carthage does not start with husbandry. So not only can I get the orders, I can get the growth going, and that's worth giving up Carthage for. And Marauder seems to have said, well, I don't care that much about those things. I want Carthage. So here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know if I see 3 animals in my capital, it's hard not to pick Persia. I really love Persia, playing with Persia.
Yeah, it puts this weird, especially in 1v1s, it puts this weird situation where if you have enough pasture resources in your capital, it's pretty much always a Persia versus Hittite match, right? Because those are the only 2 people who start with
Yep.
husbandry, and you need that early growth to get going. So,
Yep.
yeah.
However, I will say that I would be a little afraid if my opponent chooses a very small map size to then allow them to take Carthage. Like that is kind of, I don't know, that's it's a little scary.
Yeah, I don't know if Carthage is scarier on a bigger or smaller map. So the weak part of Carthage on a small map is there often aren't enough tribes, enough
Oh
tribal
yeah, that's
sites,
true.
so they often get
Yep.
wiped out before you can take large advantage of them. But and
Yep.
on a larger map, they also kind of get some benefits too because they can clear using only tribal. So all of their bases can econ behind that, which makes it kind of
Yep.
strong too. So
Yeah.
Soren, can you do me a
Plus,
favor?
you
Can you have a
can.
quick look and see if everyone in chat can hear us okay? We should get those audio settings,
Oh,
make sure
sure.
that's working. Thanks. I don't
Let's
know if I have you
see.
up too loud or not. I'm more worried about having you too quiet.
No one's been. Yeah, Elchris says audio is good. So
Perfect. That's all I wanted to hear.
it's like right. Yeah, and also it's true that on a large map, if you just beeline your scout, which is probably a pretty good idea, then if you just beeline your scout, then you can essentially, you can hire troops that are like just right outside the enemy's borders, which is pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yep. In addition to keeping vision on them, which is really strong in this game. So some interesting differences in openings here. So Carthage has opened Artisan Capital, which has given him 2 workers right off the bat, and has immediately began building a farm, which is going to be purely to make his settlers cheaper, essentially, because there's no growth off a raw farm tile, and then started his shrine, which is a growth shrine, which is going to be settler production timing, essentially. So trying to be able to make faster settlers. So downside of this opening here is it's not a trader start, and no trader start means that the econ is going to be a little bit worse than normal for Carthage, and Carthage needs econ to take advantage of those tribes. It's been a affable schemer for Carthage, who's now a governor. So again, with the growth, back to Persia.
Oop.
Go ahead.
Oh, the phone's on me. I'm good.
Okay. Sion has gone with a educated orator. We have not seen orator openings pretty much at all in this tournament that I'm aware of. So that's kind of exciting to see something a little bit different. This may be orators giving the ability to purchase units in the same way that Carthage has, but using legitimacy instead of gold. So that will be. I don't know how their upgrade works. Do you know? Is it the
No, I'm
same?
not sure right off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I don't know if they can upgrade in the same way that Carthage can. Presumably, yes, but I don't actually know.
I think so. I don't see why it'd be any different.
Well, Carthage got that change that made it so upgrading tribes cost gold and training both. I don't know if that was Carthage specific or if that was tribal upgrade specific. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's Carthage specific. I don't think we would have done that.
Okay.
It would be.
And
that would be probably kind of strange because that's essentially you'd have to almost list that under the Carthage.
Yeah. Right. And then I suppose orators are tribal mercenaries. So it's just tribes for both of them. Okay, so they both can only enlist tribes, no barbarian enlistment at all anymore, but they both have access to doing that. That's kind of a cool start. I guess fleshing out the rest of that, it's educated orator for better teching here, a little bit of science to go with that. Orator is a rough start because it provides neither science nor gold to begin with, both of which are super strong, and it's just a lot of local civics. So there's a lot of cost to picking this first. He can get those extra orders with friendly families, but it's not like the guaranteed extra orders of the schemer just warring everything along the way, and then the orders on demand kind of aspect of that. So we will see if Persia's natural order generation can kind of combat that. And it's a rider start, so double scouts and extra orders to start with the rider family. So.
Yep. Yeah. Are we? Have we seen a lot of orator starts? I don't seem to recall.
Very rare.
What his plan is exactly. I mean, I guess the obvious thing is the recruiting the mercenaries. I suppose that's maybe his hedge for facing Carthage. I suppose is like, well, I know you can recruit mercenaries, so I'm going to try to beat you to it, basically.
Yeah, I think.
But burning legitimacy early. I mean, that is wrong.
Yep, bit scary, and it's. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Because again, I mean, it's a synergetic strategy, right? So and I like that it's adapted to the map. I think a lot of times players, it's something that I'll be working with Alcaris on to change a little bit for the next version of the tournament, which is I would like to see a little bit more players adapting to the stuff that's dealt to them via the map and the situation, much more than coming in with these crafted strategies and just forcing those. So I'm hoping the tournament rules will fix a little bit of that for the next round. But I do really like what Sion's done with this, which is he has adapted to this map, right? He's decided that he's willing to give up the top tier pick of Carthage here to get something that fits the map a little bit better. And then he's picked a kind of different opening archetype than we're used to seeing that also plays fairly well with the nation he's chosen. So that's kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a decent number of tribes around. I mean, there's going to be plenty of units to recruit. But yeah, I'm trying to think through in my mind how much legitimacy I would be willing to spend early. for. I mean, for sure, I think you should recruit a couple just for that early speed boost, right? But how far of a hole do you want to dig yourself orders wise?
Yeah. Both players are going to be burning legitimacy early, right? Since the other player is playing schemer, and I guarantee we will be seeing lots of order purchases. The thing is, the schemer purchases, especially when you're playing a nation with double scouts, with both of these nations have Carthage with access to riders, and Persia, of course, access to riders as well. You tend to get your legitimacy back on the schemer by just hitting those landmarks fast. Persia, however, doesn't have those order boosts right now. So he's got the double scouts, but we can already see his scout movement hasn't been as aggressive as you might like with having 2 of those to begin with. So he's got to be getting these pastures up to have access to anywhere near those orders. So kind of be clear to see. Cool to see what happens with that.
Well, he's almost got a second pasture up, so it's not much of a mystery what he was going to do with Persia.
Yep. Kind of interesting settle pick for Carthage here, though. Carthage opened Artisan and now has settled Statesman. This is 2 really interesting parts about this. First of all, it's pretty meta to drop your military city second for that unit. I suppose as Carthage, you have some leeways. You don't have to get that second unit, but dropping your rider city is +2 orders immediately. This is only 1 on Statesman, and you get your second scout. And with the schemer, those scouts are super valuable, as we were just talking about. And it's also locks him out of either traders or riders, depending on which one he wants to pass on. It's pretty. We haven't seen a lot of non-trader Carthage starts, especially on maps with a lot of water like this.
I guess there weren't any resources in the water at the found, which is, I guess, maybe why. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it might turn out really well for him. If we look at this map as observers, where we can see everything, I see 1 coastal resource on this entire continent map, which is crazy.
Oh yeah! Wow. It's kind of unusual. The water resources are in the lake in the middle.
Yeah, there's 2 in the lake in the middle and 1 on the bottom of the map that dies, and that's it. So like, on a continent map of this size, I would expect as a player to be thinking there's going to be some good trader spots somewhere. So might pay off for him. I wonder if he will. I suspect his last pick will be riders, but it might not be. There's some possibility. The other thing with this is Carthage gets the gold bonus early from connected cities, right? Or rather, they get the gold bonus all game long for connected cities, and riders start connected. So by settling Statesman second here, not only do they lose an order per turn compared to that don't get their second scout, they don't get that early gold.
Yeah, I can't imagine him not going riders. What's the elephant situation? Has he seen any? I'm just looking around.
Looking around. I mean, so again, it's hard to see exactly what he's seen, but if you go to the timeline, you can get a little bit of a sense of that. This is again that feature we were talking about. I'm not going to turn this into a demanding changes in the game kind of stuff, but that feature as observers for the tournament is super nice. If we could figure out what the player has seen easily through the fog, but my guess here is no, he hasn't seen any elephants. And honestly, there are not a lot of elephants on this map that I'm seeing as I look around.
I see one in the south of the lake.
Yep.
Quite a bit south of the lake. And geez, is that the only elephant?
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, that's another sort of rough. I mean, Siontific wouldn't have had any way of knowing that, but that's definitely a problem for the Carthage player.
Yep. Quite a lot of pastures on this map too. So Persia's gonna get a fair chunk of orders out of this as they settle across, which is nice.
For sure.
Haven't seen Persia do real well in this tournament. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't imagine Carthage not going riders next, right? Because I mean that's basically the only path to get their elephants. Among other many good bonuses for riders.
Well, you don't have to have elephants as Carthage to play, and honestly, it's one of the weaknesses of Carthage is the rarity of elephants. Horses are a weakness in of themselves for unique units, but then having additionally the requirement of a rarer resource of elephants is particularly punishing. There is some world in which he just doesn't bother with it. He can get routing units via horses. He's already found horses in 2 of his other cities. He may just say, I want the econ of traders as a continent map. But I suspect you're right. I suspect we will see final city being riders.
Wasn't there a thing in Observer where it would switch
automatically?
Switch between the players automatically?
Yeah, I believe it's because we're currently on simultaneous turns, so there's no switch to be had.
There's no actual course. There's no actual player.
Yeah. Once they swap to strict, that will happen automatically. Yep. In the meantime, you just alt left click on their names in the nation tab, and that will swap you back and forth. I think there's a hotkey coming either in the patch notes or maybe hit already. I'm not sure, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, that'll be in the next major update or whatever, the next full update. It's Alt 1, Alt 2.
So a Persian grab down here in the center of the map with picking up one of their units here. And does it give us a summary on the? It does. So we'll be able to see the summaries on the legitimacy. If you hover the legitimacy on either of the leaders, we can get a kind of running comparison of how much each of the players have spent purchasing things with their legitimacy. So it's currently, this is the second one that Sion has done, or rather he spent 4 legitimacy. And if I look back over to Marauder on Carthage, Carthage has used 4 for two buys of orders.
I wonder if he'd march any troops? I mean, I'm not even sure what he'd be able to spend all that much orders on at this point anyway.
A schemer?
With only 1 scout. The slinger, sure.
Oh, no, I didn't say a slinger. A schemer, I was asking? You mean for Carthage?
Yeah.
Oh, lots of things, right? So it makes your first turn super good. You can assign your governor, full scout, move your military unit, promote it, and get your improvements started. And generally, what you're looking for, schemer, is just having one of the families that spawns with extra units. And he's taken he took artisans, right? So he already has that extra unit to begin with.
Extra worker,
yeah. So you can do things like chop. You can do things like harvest early. There's a bunch of things you can do with those early orders at the beginning. So
yeah. It looks like Siontific has recruited a second mercenary now in the south as well.
Cool.
Just kind of think you'd want them more closer together, but I mean, I guess
Well, he's able to clear these camps. If you look, he's taking the Danes out in the middle with that one unit, and he's gonna get the next one with that same idea. He might just be thinking, "I'll rush these middle spots." He's holding. With his slinger, he's holding position on that settlement. It hasn't been settled yet. He did settle south, which is kind of awkward if he's doing this middle clearing strategy. Or maybe he's thinking he wipes the tribes out and just denies that to Carthage.
I mean, there's a lot of tribes left on the map. I don't feel like that's trying to like boil the ocean. But I'm more worried about. It's just very aggressive to clear those middle sites, because I know as a player, I always want you don't want to let your opponent get those middle sites. And if he just has a one unit sitting there, like that's not necessarily enough to hold it. And is he gonna? Well, we'll see. He's got a settler out next turn. So, if he really wants to do this, if I was him, I would skip the site he just cleared, the middle site, and go all the way to the middle. Might as well lock that down now. I don't know. What would you do?
I think if I'm gonna spend the resources of purchasing a military unit over there and clearing that camp like that with a unit that doesn't generate experience, I want that settle. I do think it's quite vulnerable though. Carthage did settle in like this. His last family, by the way, was riders. He did choose that. But Carthage's schemer, and if you're Persia, you're going to know that Carthage is going to be running a 2-scout opening, because they're going to have access to riders, and it almost always gets picked that way. So you have to assume that you're under surveillance most of the time with a 2-scout opening like that. So it's actually funny because Marauder does not know that Sion has just cleared that site, but Marauder probably ought to know that he's just cleared that site.
Yeah, it's an interesting site because it's a dead end, so it's
hard to
sort
defend.
of protected, but also sort of not, because if he gets choked there, he'll have no way to reinforce it.
Yeah. Although hard to control that, right? Because that is sand in the center, so no roads on that tiles. So really to control this area, you almost have to road those hills and have a bunch of units there. It might be early enough. There's just not enough ways to prevent that reinforcement. But it's also 1,000,000 miles from Persia's reinforcement centers. So yeah. I think Sion is likely going to go for it, but we'll see what he does with this. I do like this. This is very different play from Sion. We haven't seen this yet. And this kind of scattering of tribals all over the place is very interesting. And these southern ones, he hasn't warred the Thracians, right? So this is...
No, he's just sitting there.
Yeah, this is to prevent Marauder from getting easy expands there.
Yep. Oh, okay. The slinger's on the move. The slinger could absolutely kill that what is that type of unit? It's called a Dale now. Kill that Marauder.
Yeah. I think he will too, because it looks like Marauder has said that I want this middle site as well, and is now... I don't think he knows Sion is there. I think he's just going to clear it with this unit, but it's going to work out really well for him.
He's going to luck into this. This is bad news.
Sion did settle before that too, not settling into the center yet, settling on the border there. So if the next settler works out, but Carthage is not building any settlers right now. He is going for his acolytes, trying to get that religion up, which I think is Quite a questionable play with so many sites
Yeah.
to expand to on this map.
Well, especially since Persia is building Acolyte as well, and of course they have plenty of, you'll know they'll have pastors up.
Yeah.
So, uh, so maybe he was thinking he would go for Judaism instead. But does he have a second shrine somewhere? Is he working on one? No,
Carthage
I mean he
is
only has one.
Carthage is working on the second shrine, and Leptis, their statesman cap. But
Yeah, I
Sion,
meant
no.
Persia. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I mean he only has one worker. I mean having a second worker is amazing. That's obviously one reason why Stuart Hars is.
Yeah, this very bizarre play from both of them though. Like this aggressive clearing of the middle. Oh, and it is a hero leader though on his slinger. I didn't notice that. So he doesn't have to stay in the city to heal. And he has, I guess,
Oh
spotted the
yeah,
unit,
yeah.
and now they're coming over to have a fight here.
Okay. Well, I mean, with two of them, I guess Sion is a small. This is gonna be a weird fight where the numbers are so close.
I
It almost comes down to who gets the first hit. Although these slingers
No,
aren't
not
going to
at
do much.
all. I think the opposite. I think the slingers don't do enough damage. Yeah, so killing, I think that exactly that unit's gonna die, and that's always gonna happen. But the slingers can't kill each other, or rather, the Carthage slinger cannot kill that hero slinger in the woods like this. The wood, he actually heals faster than the unit does damage. So
Yeah,
he, this is now actually time pressure. How long before Carthage can either reinforce that site or get a settler there,
just settle it
versus
down.
the
Yeah,
hero just wears down the commander? But he's not building a
yeah,
settler. So what an interesting opening.
yeah. He's just going to have to sit there. And even if the settler comes, I mean, I guess he can march the settler, I suppose. Like, you almost worry about the settler getting killed on the way.
Yeah.
But okay. So Carthage is building another slinger, and no military units coming out of Persia yet.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the question. Oh, they're probably going to swap the turn timer now.
Yeah.
There's a small map, so I guess maybe it's not a shock, but this is still pretty early conflict.
Yeah, I suppose 12. It's on some of them. I mean, this is again not a particularly small map for the tournament setup, anyways. So we've been seeing a lot of kind of early swaps over for this. So yeah.
Yeah. Boy, this is a kind of a tough break for Psionic, because if you think about it, Marauder showed up at just the perfect time. 2 or 3 turns later, and the hero slinger would have been there and healed.
Yeah.
Right? And then I don't think there's anything Marauder could have done. So Marauder kind of just randomly lucked into just the right time to wander into that area.
Although both of them playing absurdly greedy, I think, with this Acolyte timing. And also, as you say, it is lucky for Marauder, but I think Sion ought to have expected that the middle site have had a scout near or on it pretty early.
Sure.
So it was lucky because he didn't have it, but I think a lot of the times he ought to have had
it. It's such a dead end that it seems unlikely. Well, he's going for the fight. It's such a dead end that's unlikely that the scout's going to stay there, because you probably maybe you have one scout, maybe you got 2, but you're going to be moving those scouts. You're not just going to be camping on the site.
Yeah. No. And as I said, this I think the kill from the slinger made a lot of sense, and the kill from the slinger is going to pull the unit onto that settlement site, whether or not he wants it or not, unless he was 2 tiles away, and I don't know if he had the damage from 2 tiles away. But it does make this problem particularly pronounced, because if you look, the commander slinger does 3 damage to the wooded slinger, the hero slinger, and the hero can heal for 5 anytime he gets low. So unless there's crit chance on that slinger, there is a 4% crit chance on that commander.
Oh, that would be huge.
Yeah. But this is a heckler hero for Sion. That is going to just win this fight. The commander's going to be forced off that site to get in the woods to mitigate that damage. And
that's what the scout's doing there. He's basically saying, like, you can't hide in the woods because I know there's my scout onto the city.
Well, yes.
I'm trying to figure out what he's doing there.
Yep. Threatening to basically control the city site for settles, but neither of them are particularly close to settles, if I understand correctly. If I go back here, and I'm actually kind of annoyed that neither of them have switched over. I guess maybe they're struggling. No, if I look now, let's figure out why we don't see settlers from this.
Persia has the food. I don't know why Persia didn't go settle.
No, I don't either.
I think that's a mistake. Because they're not going to beat. I don't think they're going to beat Carthage to acolytes. So I don't know what they're doing with that acolyte. What is he with the acolyte build?
Yeah, it is science.
Especially
really,
since
Carthage
he can
does suffer from science, and the Orator doesn't have a science bonus in of itself. So it could be just like, I need to get my tech going, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, boy, but if you take the move to clear that central site, like you got to have a plan to get a settler there. Otherwise, what's the point?
Oh, well, look at this. Look at this. Carthage has civics rushed a settler out of their cap. Their cap having hit developing somehow. I wasn't tracking. That's great though. Great for Carthage.
That's because they went artisan. They got to developing so quickly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But are there any sites cleared? I mean, has he even...
Well, he's going for the middle with this settler, is his plan.
Yeah, I guess, but...
Well, 100%.
If he can hold that site, he'll have a slinger out in 3 turns. So that slinger realistically won't be there until 5 turns, at which point this commander will be dead. Well, let me do the math here. Whose turn is it? It's Marauder's turn. He's attacked, so he's going to lose 5 hit points. He's going to go down to... They'll take 3 hits to kill the Carthage slinger.
Yep. You almost wanted to see him rush a slinger from Carthago. I mean, it's so far away though.
Yes. Yeah. That's. I mean, I'm very. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else is going to happen. I mean, the early game, there's just no other units around, and because they're in this dead end, there's no way to recruit units and get them there. So, I guess the Carthage slinger is doomed. I don't see some other.
Well, the Carthage slinger can always walk away, right? He can.
But in that case, what good is the slinger for?
Delay,
what good is the settler?
Yes. Yep.
Rushing the settler, right? Like that's the potential mistake. Unless he has some plan to, I guess he could move off the city site. And I mean, it seems like maybe that's the thing. Should he have moved off the city site already? I mean, he's afraid.
He's focusing super hard, and he thinks he needs to keep the city site. And I think it's been wrong since the get-go, right? As I said, I would have liked him to have killed that Marauder unit that was standing on the city site from the forest without having to go into the city site. I don't know if he could have done it from range 2 or not, but the rest of this fighting, he should be at least in the forest mitigating the damage taken. Now, Sion's done a good job of almost mind gaming him with the scout. The scout is there, visible, as opposed to invisible, saying, I'm going to take this site the second you stand off it, but he should want that. I'm 99% sure scouts don't exert zone of control either, so I don't think this slinger is actually held in position. Although, when I hover it does look like it is.
Okay, he just moved his own. He's just moved his own scout. He's afraid that
he's trapped. Check the zone.
What?
So the scout is actually, it's not zone of controlling. It just holds the tile. So
right.
Yeah. So he's full zone of controlled on there. He's Zocklock in because the mountain's behind. He can move back, which is better defensive position for him, but he cannot can't move away. Cool on Sion to catch that.
I mean, he could still move into the forest, though. Okay,
which he's done. Now that he has the scout to hold the site is what he's trying to do. Yeah.
He still probably needed to hold the site because he doesn't know that Psionic is not close to a settler in any way.
And he needs to hold the site for another reason, which is even if Sion doesn't have the settler coming, he cannot settle himself if he does not control that center point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he attacked the scout. Well, that's interesting. I suppose now. Okay. But the settler can still.
And look, I assume that was a force march. There's no way it got there without it. So he force marched the settler there. He doesn't have enough for another force march next turn, but that settler is a lot closer now. Killing the scout makes quite a bit of sense too here, which is it is the unit that controls the commander from leaving, and he knows he's not going to get a kill on that hero slinger anytime he wants. It's actually smart play from both of them, right? Sion catching that he could lock the unit in. He actually force marched the scout back a couple turns to do that, and then Marauder figuring out kind of the way out of this trap that Sion has set for him. So I'm actually really impressed with the quality of play on both their parts, minus weirdly the build order stuff. Like, why are we seeing a festival on Persia with 200 food?
I was going to comment on the festival. I have no idea.
I really don't know either. Perhaps there's some event that can trigger off that I don't know about. Is there some statesman specific festival event that might be relevant?
That's baffling.
There was a festival event though. Festival finished on Persia.
Oh, he did get an event? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he sees the future.
It's really a law change.
I was wondering if Siontific was going to do that. He moved northwest of the city, so he can. The problem is that settler is going to get there first.
Yep.
It's interesting. He moved the scout just to be harder for the settler. I mean, he probably didn't know the settler existed, but now it's a little bit slightly harder for the settler to make it there. But the settler, does he have the training to?
No, he was at 50 last turn. He doesn't have another force march. He force marched to get there this turn. He does not have another force march. So the scout will slow it down a little bit. Interestingly too, this commander is running out of health. I suppose the commander can chase the scout, can't kill it though in one,
Hmm.
but he still controls. I think the settler is gonna land. I don't. Sion really
I
just needed one
guess.
more unit. Does he have his other scout nearby he can bring back, or one of these other units he has? No, it looks like his other scout is he has. He's look how many. I haven't been tracking this long. Look how many tribal units Sion has purchased as his orator. Like if you go south a little bit and look around,
Yep. Why is he? Wow.
that's so
I guess
many.
he. I guess he's just like, I want to make
19
sure.
legitimacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what a wild game.
I guess he's very concerned about. But why all in the south? That's really interesting. You think they'd be more useful in the north, where the Carthage cities are?
He doesn't have
Is
sight up there, and if you look, he has. I don't know if it matters for orators. Does it matter the relationship to the tribe for how much it costs for purchasing with legitimacy, or no? For Carthage, it
It
does.
might. It might. Yeah, it probably does. It probably uses the same algorithm. I mean, ultimately, it's where your scout is, right? And so, or where you have line of sight, and he has line of sight there, so that's his only place he can recruit. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, I think the slinger is going to die. Well, the slinger can escape now.
Yeah. And it ought to be moving, right? I'm expecting to see. I mean, it's 2 hits to die on the slinger. I'm expecting the slinger to move down, attack the scout to clear room for the settler. Is what I'm expecting, because then the scout can't hang out because the settler will then have access to move through.
If Scientific moves if Scientific had moved that scout east of the city, would Marauder have been trapped there? The slinger?
If he had moved it east of the city, I'm not sure. Yes. If he had moved the scout back to the tile it was previously occupying, yes, it would have trapped the commander there. Yep.
It might have been the better move, but it's going to be weird. Like, he could have theoretically been in a situation where he lost the slinger, but can still found the city.
Yeah.
Because of that scout.
I think that's a win for Sion in a sense, though. If he gets this slinger killed, I don't know. It's very close. And I mean, again, like I'm piecing this together from what they're doing. We both are kind of, and we're behind them, but they're doing this in real time with time limits. I'm always impressed with that. I love this game, but I love this game turn-based. I don't love it with time pressure turn-based. So.
Oh, sure. It's hard. I kind of moved beyond the days of playing it like that. It's shaky.
Same.
But yeah, this is like the knife fight in the phone booth situation here. It's just really tough to know what the right move is. But theoretically, I mean, you get that city down, it probably just doesn't matter because one slinger is going to take the city down, and although Marauder wouldn't know this, Scientific is not really good. I mean, now he's starting the military, but it's going to be too late to do pressure the city. Like, if he gets that city down, he'll be able to hold it. So
yeah, if you're
it's
a Marauder too, you're a little bit concerned. You see Persia as much stronger than you. That's a
sure. He doesn't have any idea where those units are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Powerful play here again. Actually, Sion doing just such an amazing job with his zone of control, right? Because the thing is here, the
settler is going to take so long to get around there, and you can't march until the following turn after next, I think.
Yep, and that commander is Zoklok now. Cannot get out of there, so it will die.
Yeah.
So now for Marauder to avert total disaster, that settler needs to come down, and he needs more units immediately.
Yeah.
Funny is Carthage to be opening with no ability to have units. I wonder if Sion.
I don't know.
Go on.
Oh, I don't know if it would have finished in time, but boy, it'd be too bad that Persia doesn't have his own settler right now. But
yep, building one now. He will hit developing culture next turn. He has 900 civics too. These statesman capitals pumping out 400 on founding is just a lot, and of course Carthage with their civics per city. So he can rush that settler next turn if he wants.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what he's going to do because Marauder's not going to move that scout off. I guess how many turns will it take to kill the scout? I mean, that's 3 turns, and that's a forever. And in the meantime, there's no way to prevent that settler from founding eventually. This is just a weird situation.
Well, is there though? Because the settler has to path over there, and depending on the
can you just block it somehow?
That's what I'm wondering. Like the scout will go invisible if it enters forest, which is a bit awkward. But between the scout being visible and the hero slinger, he might just be able to repeatedly zock it or slow it enough that he can't get the settle off. We'll see.
I assume Marauder's going to kill the scout, right? Because it's like, well, I can't kill the other slinger, so I might as well just kill the scout. So then you have one slinger, who you can't block all the tiles.
No, but you can make it. You can keep slowing this more and more, right?
For sure. But even then, like you can't. If you start as soon as you start attacking that scout, then there'll be an opportunity for the settler to settle.
Yes.
So, like long term, like if Marauder wants to, Marauder can get that city down. Of course, that's the question: is that a good idea? I mean, it's probably a good idea. Luckily for Marauder, all those barbarian units are on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Why are they damaged now? I see a bunch of them.
Because Sion is he is truce
it's
with
not
the
war with the
Thracians,
Gauls.
and he is warring the Gauls with those units and clearing those camps.
I wonder if he
super
chose that or if
interesting.
that was forced upon him.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like
It doesn't seem like
the
something
type of
he'd
thing
want
that
right
you'd
now.
want, right? Yeah, because he's not going to settle that Gallic site. That's
Oh, there
crazy.
goes the force march settle. He cannot save the commander though, because the commander is Zoc locked. Although I wonder, I guess I don't know. Could he have saved the commander by settling a different site and healing the commander in the forest? Like if he settled east side, maybe just didn't have the orders to get there. He might have been able to save that commander. I bet you if we looked at the settler position, he couldn't reach it, but I don't know that.
It would have been the same, I think, on the eastern one, which would be one tile short of the commander. So, yeah. If either of them had just built one more military unit early, maybe not that festival, Maybe skip the festival.
Why? I guess I don't know. Maybe there's festival events he was fishing for that could be powerful enough for that. I don't know.
Or somehow hired a tribal unit that was closer to this area. I mean, it's just strange. There's just like very few tribal units in this area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Sion killing this camp prevents any more tribal units from being available in this little spot. But yes, the map has worked out with this this kind of V, this flying V of mountains that you can't reinforce the site except from the bottom.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the thing I wonder about the fighting the Gauls. You think he'd want to fight the Thracians because, like, at this point, he's going to want to found south of the lake. Right? Like that's where Siontific should be headed next.
My feeling is Sion is attempting to deny Carthage the ability to pick up tribals and then the ability to settle more sites. This is, I think, a containment strategy to the south going on here. And I think you're probably right. I doubt he wanted the war with the Gauls, although I'm not 100% on that. So that's probably why that has happened. Because you can see these units just standing around the Thracian sites, just kind of chilling and just having all of the units be under Sion's control as opposed to Carthage. This may be his attempt to counter Carthage, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with buying the units, but like clearing the camp is a little bit dangerous because that makes it to some extent easier for Carthage to come in there and then attack your units and settle there.
Yeah. Although if he leaves the camps up, they will keep spawning units, and he probably doesn't want to endlessly buy barbarian units for legitimacy, or tribal units, weak tribal units, anyways, for legitimacy.
No. What is his legitimacy? His legitimacy is 42. That's not as terrible as I thought it might be for all these units.
That's pretty rough. He's minus 22 from mercenary recruitment.
Yeah, but you recruited 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How do these numbers add up?
They must somewhere.
It says minus 22 legitimacy for recruiting mercenaries, and as far as I can tell, he's recruited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them.
10, right? He's lost one at the beginning.
Well, I included that.
I see 9 on the board.
Oh, you do? Okay, I missed one.
Maybe 8.
So 10,
maybe you're right. Anyway. Yeah. Yep. There's another thought. Oh, what was the... Oh, you know what else I'd like to be seeing? I guess he may not have the scouts for it right now. I would like to see Carthage and probably Persia harvesting horses if they possibly can. There's the Swift event that's pretty high probability of getting that they both really want for how this game has come out, right? Where they're force marching units to get to positions here. It would be a lot easier if they had one more fatigue for that. Should look around too. So the schemer has become bold and a music lover, and the Persian is tracker and educated. Tracker actually surprisingly good with 2 scout openings with that extra vision range. It's just nasty. And if we look at Sion's, where's Sion's scouts? Not situated in a particularly good spot for vision, sadly, but interesting.
That's a really weird Siontific. You see what Siontific's doing with his marauders, skirmishers, I guess. He's sending them west from the Thracian camp to go around, I guess, around the lake. He's like anticipating a battle in that fortress area, but like, how many orders is it going to cost to move those guys around? There's like a giant mountain blocking the western edge of the lake.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like and this is all rough terrain. It's going to be like 15 orders to get each one of those guys to that site. I mean, that's such a waste. And that's
Well, maybe not a
crazy.
waste, but maybe it's certainly expensive. But I mean, if we look at Sion's plan thus far, as he's expressed it with his movements, it's a contain and pressure Carthage early. Don't let him get
Yeah.
access to his tribals, which he's doing to the south here. Have more forces or pressure this central site, which he has his hero just hanging out there, throwing some attacks,
Uh-huh.
healing up in there. And he's got units coming from the left of that site. And now if he can bring those other units that he's spent the legitimacy to purchase, you might just be able to early enough flood that site with enough units to prevent Carthage from keeping it.
I mean, and this is the trick to multiplayer is being able to see the future. The issue with these units is I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since they can't march, they're not going to get there for 10 turns.
Yeah, that's so long.
I mean, how can you even imagine? Like
Well, I
who
mean,
knows
10
what the
turns
situation's
is
going to
what
look like
from
in 10 turns?
Carthage? Two more slingers? You know, like,
Yeah, but you're losing 4 orders every turn. When you're making 12 orders, you're spending a third of your orders permanently for the next 10 turns
sure,
to
but
get
here's where the
these
festivals
two.
paid off. He doesn't have other mobile units. So in other words, he may have the. I hear you. It's a huge cost to do it, but I do get the sense of it. These are units that can be available on the field for fighting in 10 turns above and beyond what you could have if you're just producing. And he's already
Yeah.
bought them, so there may be some sunk costs there. And you may be right. Perhaps it's not worth it to move them at all. But I could.
What I would have loved to see is him settle that southern site, and you know, I assume it would take a little bit longer, but like beeline to navigation and get like a bireme because he'll want a bireme there eventually.
He's
Like
so
that's
far from navigation. Like, doesn't even have labor force yet,
yeah.
and he's Persia. He's making 29 science a turn. Navigation itself is 200, and then labor force is another 120 on that. And then he's got to
You won't
build
be
the
able
boat.
to rush out of a new site. I mean, I guess he could build the Trendon if he can get a little bit culture.
Oh, wait, I was on the wrong tech path. Sorry, I was on Carthage. Slightly worse, 23 science instead of 29, so even further to get to labor force and navigation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be much more efficient to be boating across that than walking
Yeah.
the long way.
It is I think it's an important point though that like actually they should both they people just don't think about navigation very often depending upon the map, and this doesn't obviously seem like a map where you have to think about navigation, but I actually bet that whichever player gets to navigation first and controls this middle sea, it's going to be very, very important. Like because there's going to be battles in the middle of the map here, and to be able to reinforce quickly, and basically you could keep half your units on the other side of the lake, and the other player is going to be stuck splitting, right? Like you could concentrate all your forces at one time if you could control this lake.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's easier said than done to say like, well, just go for navigation because there's so many other things you need in the early game. But like I think whoever gets there first is going to really benefit from that.
Yeah, this is surprising to me with such an aggressive, action-oriented early game from both players that either of them are spending the time for the acolytes. I mean, maybe I get it more on Persia because Persia, starting with his oratory, is just going to be really struggling for science, and Persia starts with some kind of awkward text for the early game stuff that's important. So I get them a bit more, but certainly Carthage, it feels not greedy necessarily, maybe too long-sighted for the tempo the game has taken thus far.
Siontific just took a peek and saw the slinger and the warrior coming to the middle site, and that's the end of that. Be interesting to see if he keeps moving his tribal units. He only moved one of them this turn, probably because like it's just too many orders to burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's gonna feel. I mean, this is 2 orders per turn right now. That's cost him from his legitimacy buys, right?
I just do not like that. I hate that move. I hate that move saying those guys west around the lake. Like it's going to burn so many orders, and you're just going to have to move them back because they were already where you want them to be. You want your military units in the middle of the map. Right?
Yeah, that's an interesting point that I had not considered. Although he does have a bunch more over there that can presumably do that, but they are situated already for future fights and future expands, which is an interesting point. So if he marches them all the way over here, then marches them all the way back, that's going to be brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't forget to clear this Gala camp because he's going to lose a unit and it's about to spit out another unit next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, is he out of? Is it his turn? Am I looking at the right player? Yeah. Oh no, it looks like he did forget.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no good. And it can, if he gets real unlucky, it may replace the unit defending the camp.
Oh, that's gonna burn.
Yep.
He's going to go from being able to clear the camp to not being able to clear the camp and losing a unit. I guess he could recruit the new one.
I mean, it's also hard for Sion. It's hard for Sion to get a sense because the way the military scores are at the moment, right, much stronger. Sion never gets a sense until that changes again, that when Carthage makes units, right? Neither of them get that sense right now. So Sion may not have been expecting, and there was a second rush that happened in Carthago. You can see by the hovering the civics rush in the city that 2 rushes have happened. So I assume the second warrior was rushed out, the artisan warrior that's making its way there. So this may be Sion may be reacting to, I won that fight, I killed that unit, I have an opportunity, even if it's a bit expensive to get there, to perhaps pressure that city, but it may now be, the reaction may be now that Carthage has too many units from that rushed unit to actually make that happen.
I just don't like this move to have brought all these units down south, and essentially, like, you spent all this money, and then you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that, to me, that's the problem.
Legitimacy, you mean?
Yeah, the resource, I was using it so generically. But yeah, like you spend all this legitimacy and you're not actually doing anything with it. If anything, it's cost you more orders because you're trying to send these guys the long way around the lake. So
yeah,
it's almost like this is like facing Carthage forces someone to make mistakes, right? Because they just get paranoid. But like, who cares if Carthage hires those Gallic units? That camp is so far from your capital. Like, what could you do with that spot anyway? So I really don't understand that move.
Yeah, and it's sometimes tough to, as my co-commenters have been pointing out to me every single game that I've cast, that I'm often quite critical of some of the moves of the players, but the players are acting, and I'm devil's advocating the other position because I also am not super thrilled about this marching of these Thracian skirmishers coming up, but the players are working with less than perfect information. So again, there might be that Sion sees, I killed that unit, I have a window to pressure, and that window is not actually there, but he doesn't know that kind of deal.
Yeah, so. But that's the thing. You got to calculate how many turns in the future your units are going to get there. Sure. And like, is it at all reasonable to expect that, like, in 10 years that site is going to not have defensive units on it, right? Like, it's just, or have any units there? That just seems implausible.
What do you think of this tech pickup on Sion? Sion finishing up Polis right now. Do we know why? Other availabilities is aristocracy, which is science, for civics, which he has right now. He has the ability to put that law into place. What is he looking for?
Well, Polis. Went for
his UU, probably the free Polton Cav at forestry. Is that his thought process?
I don't know. Maybe he just got a really weird combo choice of techs.
No, you can see if you click, his options are aristocracy, drama, labor force, or polis. So
yeah, I would have liked labor force.
Yeah, or yes, there's 2 others that I think I would have gone aristocracy personally, but there's at least 2 in there that look better to me than polis, unless you have some very specific plan in mind here. And
labor force leads to navigation.
Yep.
So, but
that's
I'm
interesting.
Keep hammering this point. We'll see if the game develops this way. But I'll be pleased if whoever ends up with the biremes ends up winning the game.
Carthage is a very tech path too. Aristocracy done, military drill done, husbandry done. So gonna have access to, if he wants it, either chariots or axes right off the bat here. I need to look. I've been caught up in the action and kind of figuring out what's happening here. I need to take a little bit of a look through the economies of both players right now. Certainly the order economy a little weaker in Persia than you'd expect from those the cost of purchasing those things, but not too bad. There's been a fair number of, I think we're up to 2-3 pastures in play. I'd really like to see the horses in the capital get online, but he's a bit short on workers. 4 cities now for him, and he's gone, double rider, single hunter, single statesman at the moment. I could also
my issue with
go ahead.
My issue with Siontific is that he only has 1 worker up on turn 21.
Yeah.
Am I missing one? No, there's 2 workers. But still, that's. I mean, he's working on 2 now, but it's hard not to think like, he could have done a worker instead of a festival. I don't understand.
The festival was weird for me too. I will be curious to hear him eventually talk about what that was. Again, I think it might have been fishing for an event, because I can't really understand what else it would have been, why he would bother with that. Maybe, I really don't know. Maybe it was faster than a worker and he didn't have the resources to start a military unit. You know, with double marble in that city, with another marble coming online from the first one being upgraded, you are going to want pop there. But with the rest of his strategy being so aggressive, it seems weird that it followed up with a festival there.
Yeah, I mean, he built another shrine, so maybe he was just hoping, he wants to get that city to developing as soon as possible. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it does increase the efficiency of the decrees that a city pushes out if it has higher culture levels. But again, that's so far forward relative to where they're at.
Yeah. Well, he's sending these, skirmishers around the mountains, so he's all about the long game, I think. So
okay,
we'll see.
Well, maybe we'll see. I mean, I looked earlier; he didn't seem to have great training income. I thought maybe these the two that he did send were going to be maybe more highly upgraded, so that they're a little bit more powerful of a unit early. But we'll see if he's able to do that. Carthage doing some interesting things, I think, at the moment. Their tech path seems a lot more, not generic exactly, but a lot more of the early game power pickups are being targeted by them. And then we seem double barracks finishing. So the first one already done, second one about to finish in their military capital, which is gonna, I mean, it's not a lot. If your base rate isn't super high, it's not a lot of multiplier, but it's something. You know, and he can, it's not going to take too much effort to get that ore into the city if he works on that. And then it starts to be a higher base rate with some better multiplication mattering. But a lot more of a kind of normal set of techs going on for Carthage. No tribal hiring, though. Like, kind of weird, right?
Have we noticed how, that is interesting that he's just skipped that entirely. I mean,
well, he's broke. He's at 9 gold per turn with 33 gold banked.
No traders, I guess. It's one of those things. Those two parts of Carthage go together so well that if you remove one of those legs, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yep.
Not actually Carthage.
And this wasn't free, his defense, right? Because not only the double civics rush, but he's got to find his econ isn't such that, if you look, he's at -6 iron per turn, right? So that warrior, it wasn't free. He's got no mines out, right? So.
Yeah. Did we miss an event because Zoroastrianism ended up in Persia, even though Carthage has 2 acolytes and Persia has 1?
We may have missed the developing culture event if that's still in the game, because there's no. That's going to have been. Persia has one of the Zoro events, right?
Apparently, I mean, it is obviously a Persian religion, so I've forgotten that there's a custom Persian event that is Zoroastrianism.
Yeah.
Is that attached to the festival?
I don't believe it is attached to the festival.
Okay.
Actually, this also spread, right? So it founded in Parsa. It's already in. Kermanesh.
That's a pretty big deal, actually, because I assume that Carthage was expecting to get Zoroastrianism.
I expect Carthage was thinking they're going to get it too.
Yeah, he's got some pastures going now, but and he spent the time on the specialists. I mean, acolytes are still good, but that's gotta kind of burn,
I mean, he's got 2 shrines. He didn't get to 2 acolytes. I guess I haven't looked.
No, he's got the 2 acolytes down. So he was building one of them. He was probably building the second one while
that event triggered.
Came off the board.
Yeah, so. It is something that Elchris in particular has been championing to get out of competitive mode, is the event that steals the religion for Persia specifically. I thought it was out personally, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe
there's so many events, it's hard to keep track. I could see an argument for taking it out for sure. I mean, this is the luck. I mean, Marauder got very lucky when he showed up on that middle site.
Yeah.
Right. Just got the timing kind of fell into his lap, and now Siontific gets lucky with what happened with Zoroastrianism.
Look at Carthage's tech draw this turn. We will be seeing a strength 5 unit. It just depends which one.
Let's see. I haven't. So very good to do.
This was spoked wheel, composite bows, steel, or spears, and he went spear tech. I'm shocked by that.
Spoke wheel, composite bow, steel, phalanx. Wow, that is quite a draw. Yeah.
I am shocked by. Why is he? Man, that's so weird, because we've seen. I don't know why he wants spears here.
Well, I'd be tempted to go spoked wheel. That was him.
I think he must be responding to the fact he's playing Persia, and Persia's unique unit is a horse. That's the only thing I can think of why he would.
Yeah, but that's still so far away,
I agree. That's what I think too. And he has no iron production, so he's probably a bit worried about axes. Comp bow is probably the longer tech. It's a bit hard to get going, although there's a ton of woods on this map to harvest. But I kind of agree. I feel like spoked wheel makes a bit of sense with what he's got going on with the double horses available, and he has husbandry already.
Yeah, he's got three sites with horses. I mean, four actually, because the riders can get horses there,
Yeah.
and he has riders. Obviously, 2 rider cities already. Yeah, I would definitely prefer spokewheel here.
Yeah, very surprised by that tech pick. Does not seem where I'd have gone with
Yeah,
this.
and he probably doesn't know this, but Scientific having all those kind of essentially crappy barbarian units. I mean, those are very vulnerable to routes, right?
Yes.
We've seen that
And he
before,
does
where
know some of it.
Carthage
If you look at
has.
that Carthage scout down there, it has sight on the one by the Thracian camp in the center at the very least, and I don't know if it's poked its head south a little bit and seen the kind of
Sure.
waves of units down here.
Yeah, he must have at some point been like, "Wow, there sure seemed to be a lot of red units down here."
Yeah.
I mean, presumably because he was going down there probably to buy some units. But you know, I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm sure these units will pay off eventually. It's just so hard to gauge the cost of all of these orders that Scientific has permanently poured into the strategy.
Yeah, I think I agree. 2 per turn is a painful amount for this, but he has picked a civilization that helps counter that quite a bit, right? So
yeah, I mean the thing that I have to remember is that essentially this does make clearing, Carthage expanding south now is going to be a nightmare. So that's why I really don't like this. I mean, I probably was forced upon him, but that's really why I don't like this war with the Gauls. Like I would want, what I would want is to stay at peace with all these tribes down here and just keep buying their units. And then even if they have their units out, that's still, that's still more troops that Carthage has to go through. It almost makes it like he has to like mount a separate war to settle these what are should be his back sites. So I don't know.
yeah, again, I think it's a containment thing. I think he's trying to deny Carthage access to mercs, and by doing that, and he's either got to keep buying them, in which case he keeps going deeper into that legitimacy hole, which he probably doesn't want, or he's got to kill them, or he's got to be at peace with them. And if this war was forced on him, then that would make a lot of sense why he just wants them off the board.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is that thing of like he knows he's gonna have to keep digging that hole. Like once he commits to this, he has to keep buying every troop that comes out. So that's just not sustainable. So he's gonna have to take some of these camps.
Yeah.
I just prefer him to take the Thracian camps, not the Gallic ones. Like clearly he's going to have to take that Thracian side at some point. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to find. He may not. By the time we discuss this match, I doubt he'll remember where the Gallic War came from.
He might know but he might know where that festival idea came from. That's the one. That's the one I mostly want to know about now.
Yes. Probably ask about it after this match. The skirmisher has made it to the first city and has upgraded. So he's on his way.
Yeah, not a ton of resources on Persia, though. Only 37 total training available right now, banked training, making 70 a turn, which isn't too bad, but also low gold. So it is going to be expensive for him to keep upgrading the skirmisher. If we look again, the next set is 160 training, 120 gold. So a couple turns he'll be able to do that. I don't remember.
A lot of civics, though. Wow.
A lot of what? Sorry, slingers?
Civics.
Yes. Yep.
1,400.
Yep. I don't remember what the bonus for each tribal race is, so I don't know if Thracians are the forest guys or the hill guys. Presumably one of those, right?
Let's see. The Peltas they get Highlander.
Okay.
The hill guys.
So a fair number of hills over there, but also, I mean, that's a very forested area to attack into, so it's going to be kind of difficult for ranged units to do a whole lot over there. But
I mean, I think realistically, that site, like, it's going to be hard to take until somebody gets onagers, really, because it's going to be hard to push into, and if you move in the middle, you can get hit on your flank, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you got that site. You just got to focus on other things. You should focus on the other middle site, south of the lake. Take that site. I mean, that's a pretty nice site there. Expand around the land, get a bireme up. Like that's it. In many ways, well, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer the northern side or the southern side?
Of the 2 center sites?
Yeah, because ideally that's like the way a close game should go. One person gets the north, and one person gets the south. So which one's better?
I mean, it's interesting because there's pros and cons to both, right? So the bottom site, as you say, has access to the water, and having control of that water is going to allow you to actually flex to attack opposing cities in a way that you can't. But honestly, if you control the middle, you almost prevent that water from being super relevant. And the middle site's open, which is both a curse and a benefit. It's open, which means easier
Yeah,
for you moving
open to
around, but
attack.
also open to attack. That note,
Yeah,
the site with the mountains is pretty protected unless you lose the major military majority there. But it does have that
yeah,
ore early, which is super good for early military production. I don't know. It's a bit of a toss up for me.
yeah,
I could see either way. Like land consolidation is going to make that center bottom site real good with
yeah.
the extra science coming out of that, but that's a ways away. So I don't know.
I'd say the resource wise, the middle southern site's better, but ultimately you don't grab these middle sites for the resources.
Yeah.
I would definitely choose the southern because I really think being able to connect the southern city with your western city on the edge of the lake, like which you want to do at some point, I think would be just super valuable. Like I feel like that site in the mountains, it's desirable, obviously, but essentially, I think you can just ignore it. Like if you have the other player, what I think Scientific should just do is for the rest of the game just pretend like that site doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think that's probably a wise decision, and maybe
because
too
really,
they might be desirably different, right? Like in the sense of that middle site is pretty defensible versus ranged units with all those forests, and not very open to attack from fast mounted units surrounding you, kind of deal, right? It might be quite desirable for Carthage as a defensive position, and the southern one might be a little bit harder for Carthage to defend. If you think of the Pultons coming into all this open terrain, you're not super happy about that. Now that said, the only elephant on the map is in that southern middle site, so Carthage may want that for strategic resources as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, think about the northern sites. I don't know what you do with it. Like you can't. Even if you get a bunch of units there, they have to go through all this really bad terrain to get out of that site, and they can't attack to the northwest. Like that area is like literally cut off. So
I think you can terrain manipulate the middle site with the mountains to be pretty good for you once you have that city, right? You can road so the forests are beneficial for you and not for them. You can road out of it. You have hills overlooking the city that you might want to attack. So.
But my assumption is that whoever has the northern site does not get the southern site. So whoever has the southern site could find out a way to attack any units coming through that sort of plain, but over the water.
And that is a wide set of tiles. You can't there's so many tiles that it's going to be very difficult to block things from landing from south to north there, from the middle bottom site to the middle site.
Yeah. All right. This is probably a problem for another day though, so we should probably. It's been going on. Okay, so that Gallic site is cleared. Currently empty.
Yeah.
But,
it's too bad because these units don't generate experience for him, so they don't generate legitimacy. They don't generate cognomen stuff from of units promoting. They don't really get better as units for doing this. Like it's a lot of orders he's spending on not a lot of value.
He just recruited another Thracian. So how many times has he done this now? He's done this. Well, I guess you can't really tell the recruited mercenaries. It just says -30 legitimacy.
Well, right now it looks like it's probably the cost is probably it scales on what the unit is, right? So it's 2.
Yeah.
I mean, and it does scale on war cost if you look, because this skirmisher would cost him 8 legitimacy for that Gaulish skirmisher. But
yeah, that's right. It like doubles or something if you're trying to recruit from somebody at war from.
But if you look at the Thracian Marauder over here, it's only 3.
Yeah.
Man, if we see Sion buy one for 8, I'm gonna be shocked.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 legitimacy is not terrible. I'm more concerned about all the orders he spent just managing these units and moving around and whatever. I mean, I want to see him building improvements. What's the improvement difference look like now?
That's a good question. I haven't looked at improvements. I've been checking science and orders quite a lot, but I've not looked at improvements yet.
Yeah, Carthage has an advantage 14-8.
Yeah.
Of improvements.
Yeah.
Although interestingly, Carthage has only made 1 worker. So does he? There's a free worker, and so is he still just on 3 workers right now?
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. Okay, he's building a worker in the middle city. Yeah. So the iron will be online soon.
I do like a couple of these plays here. The extra artisan worker heading up to the rider seat has made 2 coming up on 3 improvements before that city has even built a worker, which is kind of cool. Starting to see those tribal units get recruited, the tribal horse units, which are nice and strong, at least early. So.
Yep.
But he is it's funny too because the other cost of this middle site is Sion can move his units wherever he wants. And it does feel like Carthage has got now 3 units kind of pinned up there, feeling obligated
Yes.
to defend.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very interesting map. It arranged this way. It would be much more boring if both the north and south were equally open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what Marauder's plans for expansion are going to be. I mean, right now it looks like he's pressuring some of those north. He's got some northern sites that will be not very hard to clear, but after that, it's going to get kind of dicey for him. Although we'll see just how big of a hole Scientific will have to dig to keep it that way.
Yeah, I mean, Carthage making 50% more science than Persia right now, but Carthage's resources are not okay. They have their negative money and negative iron right now, which they're starting to work on, but that means they're super limited in what they can actually build and or purchase right now. So another reason I really don't love, I mean, I know spears are not as iron intensive as axes, 50-50 as opposed to 100, but I still think he'd probably rather be paying with food, but maybe not. I gotta look again. What's his food income right now? Oh, he's real low on food income too, so probably all of his food is going to settlers. Maybe that makes more sense in that thought process. He just doesn't have the farms to support chariots on top of settlers.
I suppose. I mean, the food. I mean, he's gonna need more food, and this isn't necessarily a great food map.
No.
So,
I mean, there's some rivers and stuff they get working on it, and there's a lot of pastures, so they can build farms around. But there's no immediate growth and food resources available that are so tempting, unless you have husbandry. So, by the way, does he have those online? Yes. Go ahead.
But I mean, I just really want to see Carthage with chariots. I mean, this seems like such a good place to be for a map like this. So the southern middle site, another Thracian unit will be popped out. It'll be interesting to see if Scientific buys it right away, because I suppose you wonder when he's kind of probably doing a lot of these buys. He's paranoid about Marauder buying these units. But here's the issue with the Thracian site. At some point, he's going to need these Thracian sites, right?
Yeah.
And he's essentially, I assume, staying at truce because he doesn't want. He needs to keep the price of buying them lower, right? Yep. But eventually he'll have to go to war to get the sites. So that's kind of the weird bind he's in.
Yeah, truce isn't a problem though. Truce costs you nothing to break. So that one isn't.
Well, I'm not talking
about
the
one after. It's peace.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is like, I think without that consideration at this point, if I was him, I'd be moving on that middle site to take it.
Oh, I see.
Right. Like I would not want to wait too long to let my opponent get both middle sites. Right.
Yeah.
So, like, how long can he realistically stay at peace with the? Stay at peace with the Thracians.
Well, he is expanding north at the moment, and he does have sight. I mean, the other thing those expensive tribal units that are all at half health doing near the Gauls is it does give him a bit of vision into what Carthage is doing. So he may be able to delay essentially dealing with warring the Thracians until Carthage makes some play to move south. There's a lot of, it's a big city, or a big map rather. It's a second size map setting, so they do have a lot of other room to expand to first.
Yeah, and letting Carthage buy one unit is not going to be a big deal because he has so many other units that can gang up on it. So until there's probably 2 units hanging around these sites, he can probably coast with what he's got.
And Sion won't know. I mean, Sion may have spotted that Marauder did not go traders, but he probably doesn't quite. He probably doesn't know how bad Carthage's gold economy is. This is a pretty poor gold economy right now.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
Go ahead.
Oh, we somehow missed that there was an elephant in Carthage's capital?
Could it have spawned?
Maybe you mentioned it, but like, what's that?
Oh no, we did miss it. There's one in each of the capitals. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
because there's an event that spawns
news.
one, but that was there because they both have it symmetrical.
They both have it. Yep.
Which is a bit more, I suppose, tempting. I mean, a bit nicer for Carthage, I suppose, to have access to at least one actual elephant as opposed to having to import one and that being it. You don't need an infinite number of that unit. That unit it tends to die a lot because it's a routing unit that stands out front and ends its turn at half health in front of a bunch of enemy units. But having a couple can be nice.
You want some. So it'd be awful if there wasn't an option for that.
Yeah, I don't even know if you. I think personally, I find the Carthage unique unit one of the least valuable ones. In that, if I have elephants, I can build elephants. So if I want the terrorize movement kind of stuff, I can build regular elephants for that. And if I want a
Right.
routing unit, I can use chariots. So I don't necessarily need them combined in a single unit. In fact, sometimes it's worse because chariots are much cheaper to produce than the Carthage unit. Now it is 6 strength, and having your routing unit be strong is very nice for setting up those chain kills. But I often find I can do without it as Carthage.
Yeah. I guess it's a question of whether you're going to taking the choice of just beelining to get to 4 laws and garrisons.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But not an all-rounder unit. Like, you want to spam Roman Hestastus. I mean, they're a fairly tanky melee unit that is good versus pretty much everything. The Carthage unit is a bit more specialized.
Boy, that game from last week between who were the two players? Where
don't know if I caught it. Which one was it?
There was a battle over middle site that went poorly for the Roman player, and then the Roman player just kind of pulled back. Well, did a lot of.
I do know what you're talking about. You're talking about that was Aaron versus Klaus. That was the winners bracket final.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a pretty remarkable game because not to put too fine a point on it, but Klaus made a bunch of tactical mistakes defending the middle site.
Yeah.
But just went all in on training and iron and just pumped out those Hastadas. It was something to see, that invasion, and a great use of naval forces. I love seeing a good use of biremes to hit opponent where they're weak. I mean, Carthage had.
Yeah, we should be a little careful. We should immediately caveat this with, because if you think about how this lives in the replay list, right? This is like a kind of like mid-tier game.
Oh,
right? You're gonna be like, spoiler.
Yeah. That's true. Well, that was definitely that's gonna be a very
let's not stop talking about it, but let's just put some big caveats out right now. If you don't want any more of that game spoiled, skip ahead 5 minutes. So go on. So yeah, I thought it was a fantastic game, and I agree. Like, a lot of cool things being shown off there, like early game play with a defense into a counterplay, like that unit coming out in particular. It was very cool. It was a very cool game.
Yeah. This is a good example about how Carthage's strength can be just like illusory. What's the right word for it?
It's a paper tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where their strength can just rapidly collapse if you poke them a little bit because there's nothing behind it, and that is the tribes a little bit later. So yeah, I agree 100%.
And I do wonder if a bit of Klaus's, like, a lot of time we were thinking like, oh, Klaus should retreat, and essentially that was true. Klaus should have just pulled back, but it didn't necessarily cost him the long run, and maybe it was valuable in just slowing down Carthage.
I definitely think stalling Carthage was good for Klaus in that game. I think he could have been less, not wasteful exact. I mean, kind of wasteful. I think he could have done that more efficiently. Is what I got from that. But yeah,
if there's one, I'm sure I'll bring this up a few times, but if there's one trend I've seen in this tournament, has been situations where people, including myself, have been like, "Oh, that player needs to retreat. They need to retreat. This is not going well," and they don't retreat, and it ends up being the right move to not retreat.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of players pull off pretty amazing defenses when it looks like all hope is lost. And actually, that was sort of one of my design goals for the game. That, like, I would rather people attack. Like, I wanted to make it so that, like, okay, if you have units, you should keep attacking, right? Like, it's better to do that on your turn than point back. So
yeah, I think by and large, if that, as you said, if that was a design goal, I think by and large that is how the combat in this game tends to play out. Units die, and your best bet is rarely to try to save the unit, and much more likely to try to kill something as you go down with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, we got a settler heading for the middle southern site, and however, no war yet with the Thracians.
Do you think this is maybe not going for the middle site? Could he possibly be
for the Gallic site?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that so much. Oh man, that is so far from home.
If any player were to do that, I would attach that to Sion, right? Like,
yeah. Have we seen anyone settle? Is that it? It may be. I don't know if it's east of Carthage, but it's like essentially on the same, was that latitude or longitude?
Yeah.
It's 44x. Carthage is on 45x. It's essentially on the same latitude.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the verb. I think it is latitude. Yeah, and
Yeah,
yes, yeah, it's like one tile. It's one tile west of Carthage. That would be hilarious.
that is crazy. I really hope that's what he's doing. I mean, he has so many units there. It's sort of viable. One of the issues is his maintenance cost is going to jump like a lot. It's going to be a very expensive city. But on the other hand, he's got the units there to defend it. He doesn't have to go to war with Thrace. Maybe, sure. I mean, that's going to freak out Marauder. Like, what do you think then if you see a city down there? I mean, I guess what would you do? I mean, and I'll say this: all of Marauder's units are in the wrong place, right?
Yeah.
Like you think like, okay, someone settles in a crazy spot like that, fine, go attack them, right? But all his units are completely on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I think when it's that far away, there's no chance of reinforcing that, right? Like that city is on its own. You know, maybe he's got these tribals down there that he can upgrade and possibly can build some units, but it's there for the taking whenever you want to get around to it. Now, so presumably you go wipe it out when it's convenient to you and you have a better strength unit. But you can run the problem if you put that off everywhere. You can get out expanded, and also that is painful terrain to move into. I mean, look at how deep that forest is.
Yeah,
in between
it's sort of
those
more
two
open.
spots.
It's more open from the west, and also like it's another reason. Like if he's really going to start settling cities down there, he's got to control that lake. You know, that makes that part of the map a lot closer to his home.
I think I don't think the lake helps on that particular site, because I think what's happening is Carthage takes the Barb camp and the Eastern Gaul camp and has coastal, and that's going to be how you access the Persian if Persia does settle that Gaul site.
That's a long way around, but sure. I mean, the thing is, if he's going for that site, at that point he's got to commit to owning the whole South.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's got to be his plan.
Yeah.
And he is almost like, I assume he'll take that Danish site, but you know, like he's going to basically want to just like be the anvil in the north, and you know, push in the south. I guess the danger here is Marauder hiring a bunch of units in the south to make life miserable for Siontific. So I guess. You know, Siontific Marauder's economy is still pretty bad, right?
Resource-wise,
negative in money. Yeah. So that's what he's benefiting. Although he's got 500 stone. Like, is he saving up for Wonder or something?
Possibly.
Like at some point,
see what Wonders. We haven't even looked at Wonders. It just has been so.
Yeah, I know. I haven't
discussed
it.
Ziggurat Oracle, Hanging Gardens, Jerwin, Necropolis, Lighthouse, Apadana. I don't really know. I mean, Jerwin's great with sages, not so great elsewhere. It's okay without sages. Ziggurat's pretty good on a map with this many city sites, but I mean, some of the super appealing early ones.
Yeah, some of these early wonders is also like the later you build the early wonders, the less valuable they are, right? Like these are all wonders that are supposed to help you, you know, snowball, but we're already on turn 30. Yeah. Right. So
although it's still a fair number of sites that have to build workers and settlers. There's something maybe about Hanging Gardens that could be pretty useful here.
Yeah. Sure.
I want to point out something. Sion is a huge advocate of never producing above and beyond the apprentice tier of a specialist, but we have seen him build a middle tier acolyte here.
Wait, have we missed something? Is Terradon like an autonomous rule or something bizarre?
I don't think that he's built one in the capital and is now building one in that city. So he already built a middle tier acolyte. Does he have he does not have an objective for that either. So no, this is deliberate. This is deliberate and intentional. So
he's punking us with a city or something. I don't know.
I think he's worried about science, and I think rightfully so. If he looks at Carthage right now, Carthage shows it's got to be it's showing competence still, so not showing as a head, but I mean, we as observer can see that Sion on 28 and Carthage on I think in the mid 30s, or if not low 40s now, 39. So yeah, it's gonna open up.
I mean, I think it's a combo of the science and the orders, right? I mean, the one thing is he's got tons of units, right? And of course, units are useless without orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. You can look at that settler go. This is, I mean, I can't remember anyone doing something like this.
No, it is a very unexpected. This is very unexpected play from Sion. I like this because it's such a. Elker said to me when this tournament started that you know, it's really the meta is really undefined in this game, and the multiplayer meta, and I think that's very true. And I think this is just another kind of instance of that, which is people have been playing these openings often based around Carthage, often based around schemers. We haven't seen this opening before. Is it any good?
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's certainly very different, and we're gonna see it. We get to see it in real time, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we said at the beginning of the game, like, whoa, Orator. I'm not used to that. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And the other nice, I mean, the thing about the Orator is like, yeah, it's gonna be painful long run, but you're not gonna run out of legitimacy. Well, I mean, you can, I guess, but
There's another
but
interesting thing here. We rarely get to see this because it's so rare to do this early, but Sion has managed it. I haven't really been tracking it. He must be really pushing this with events. But if you look, the Orator has another ability besides recruiting, which is all cities one order per year with a city with a friendly family. And friendly family is pretty hard. That's over 200, right? But he's got 2 of his 3 factions right now over 200. So he
yeah,
is generating. I mean, each statesman city and each hunter city is going to be generating an extra order. So at the moment, he's getting an extra 3 from cities. Yeah, extra 3 from cities, which is kind of cool.
I assume this comes from religion. Yeah, this is all based off religion. So that's why games are asked, and that's why he went for the acolytes, and he just walked out.
Yeah,
Huge.
well, he hit the stupid Persian event for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty surprised he didn't go for Judaism though, because it seems like that's the gimme if you're Persia.
Judaism has a
right?
lot of downsides, right? It's 60 versus 40 for the specialists for civics,
Sure.
so it's quite a bit slower there. And then the science value, there's no culture off the specialists at all, and there's no science. So and part of it boils down to essentially the acolytes are really good early for all the things you want.
Sure.
Which,
but it was a big risk. I mean, he would have been beat to it without the event, right? That's the reason I wouldn't have gone for it. Is like I would have wanted to make sure I get there.
Sometimes you build an acolyte even if you don't, even if you're not going to get Zoro. I build him sometimes even when my opponent's already founded Zoro because I want the science and culture off of it. So it may have been that it was kind of like a half gamble, right? He wasn't necessarily expecting it, but he'd be happy if he got it, and he wants the science and culture anyways, kind of deal.
Yeah. Do you remember what are there prerequisites to that event? Like, do you need the shrines?
I don't
know
the event
acolyte?
well. I know Alcaris has posted it. It's in the event list to be suggested kind of deal, so it's in there somewhere.
This is in the chat, so I'm sure he's mentioned it somewhere. I'll see.
Yeah. As I said, I don't have access to Twitch chat right now, so my apologies for that. But all right. So okay, there's something else that I was finding notable that I wanted to comment on, but I've lost it now. What the hell was it? We are seeing that city settle, by the way.
This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. It's so fun. I wonder if can we see this? I mean, this is where I wish I could see. I wish I could select Carthage's view and see what he actually knows about. Does he know about that city yet? I want to know like the moment he does, you know?
Yeah. I love to see the expression on his face.
Yeah. Well, also, I just want to know. I want to see how his unit behavior. Like, we can't talk to him in real time. Are we going to see a bunch of units move south all of a sudden? Are we going to see a bunch of military units get queued up? What are we seeing?
I mean, I would maybe see him sell all that stone so he could start buying some trouble units down there. That's probably what I would do. But maybe also, it's hard to know what to do. Like, you don't want to overreact because this move by Psionic might be a bad idea. Right? Like, this may not work out for him. So I don't know. The question is, what's the right response? According to Solver, this Zoro event is not on. The Zoroastrian Founding event is not in the competitive mode. Is competitive mode off here?
Well, that's a good question. Is competitive mode off? No, it's not. So it may not be. Perhaps is there a non-Persian specific Zoro founding event? Because he did not have 2 acolytes when he got Zoro. So something. It was an event of some sort. I mean, we could probably check his event history, but I don't know the names of them well enough to make sense of that. And that way, maybe we'll do it for chat. Maybe someone in chat can tell us what event that was. So if I go to, I mean, he's got a lot of notable events. I'll hold it up on screen for a second. And then,
I think it's it's an update thing. Alcra says the event is still on in competitive mode, but will be gone in January.
I see.
So this is the last hurrah for
this is Sion showing why it's getting changed.
Yeah. That's sometimes players like to do that. In these types of situations. By the way, Alcra says the game sounds a little too loud. I assume he means the games. This is the game. Okay, that site, Anshan, the far eastern city, is losing 40 bucks a turn in distance maintenance.
Why does maintenance scale based on distance?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Scales based on distance. Yeah, no, that's
oh no.
That's a system that dates back to Civ 3, and I've always used it as sort of like a just a balancing factor for expansion.
Wow, I had no idea that the distance of the city founding mattered. I wonder if Sion knows that. He probably doesn't, but he's gonna find out.
Yeah, if you mouse over like the money, if you look over a city and you mouse over the money thing, you'll see where the money comes from and where the maintenance. Usually, it's population. That's where you're getting a lot of your maintenance from. But yeah, there's a distance factor.
Yeah, it says distance from capital is the second factor listed in the calculation of maintenance. I've probably read that tooltip 100 times, but I've never internalized. I've never internalized that at all. That's funny.
So all these, if he founds all these sites, I mean, it's supposed to be a slight rubber banding effect, right? That just like if you have a player that's like, ahead, has more cities, they're more likely to be farther from the capital and so forth.
Yeah. Seeing an interesting tech pickup from Carthage here. Carthage has decided, after getting spears, to now get axes, which is odd to me. I'm not entirely sure why. I assume these militia came from events. I don't think he has good enough growth anywhere that he's necessarily spamming those. So he's starting to clear the barb camp with that. He seems a bit... He did get that early city down, and he spammed some units to defend it, and they're just sitting over there doing nothing for him, which is actually kind of hurting him quite a bit as I think about that. And he's done a good job, I think, developing Utica, but he seems a bit almost lost as to what to do now.
Sure. Let's see. I mean, do we know if he's seen that city yet? I guess we could.
It's really hard to tell because we can see that what he's scouted, but we can't see when he scouted it, right?
So, well, you would be able to see the borders, right? It'll show you.
Yeah. So he hasn't
there
seen it,
the last time see the board. Yeah. So he's not seen the borders. He does not know about the city, and he doesn't really have any units nearby. So who knows when he's going to.
Where did that scout of his go? Didn't he have a scout down south? He's got 2 scouts.
Well, he had 2.
Still.
There's 1 scout way in the west in the Venetian forest.
Yeah. So he's moved the other one over.
Got some raiders from the Thracians coming in. Oh wow, that city is not very well defended either.
Look at your prediction being absolutely accurate. Those Thracian units marched all the way up to Pterodon, did a little bit of upgrading, and now are marching down south to deal with the raiders. That sucks.
Well, at least they're closer to the raiders. I mean, that maybe sort of worked out. Not the reason he did it, but okay. I guess a good thing they're in the neighborhood. But yeah, they did not end up taking that mountain pass.
I was about to compliment Sion on the production of another scout going up to what I assumed would be 3 scouts. But as I look at his unit list, he has 0 scouts right now. So he's managed to lose 2 scouts somehow, which is kind of impressive in of itself. I know one of them, I looked at it earlier, was it was getting attacked by tribals somewhere. And perhaps he just forgot about that. It's a common occurrence occasionally.
So much
I don't
going
know the
on,
second one.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a bad situation with that Gala camp because probably from lack of focus. So it was probably something similar. A good reason to be schemer in a time game. Like the scouts are just invisible. You can't lose them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also nice just not having to worry about their pathing at all. You can just throw them wherever you want. You can throw them in the middle of enemy cities. Like this scout that's standing on the marble of Marauders, like in the middle of his 3 cities. I would like to. I kind of want that on the wine almost. Like I want it like directly seeing everything the players are doing. You get a lot of information from the buildings they're working on. Is that a walls in Pterodon? Dude, no, it's not. Okay.
Decree.
Oh, not this building. I thought I saw the animation.
Did he build a wall?
Yeah, no. I just checked. There's no project there. I thought I saw a wall though, and I was gonna get really surprised because Sion is so harsh on people who build acolytes, any specialist above rank 1, and pretty much any wall ever. He's like, I'd like to see anything else there. So it's just funny to see what he does when it's his turn.
I mean, I gave the elder special. All the elder specialists have some sort of extra bonus for this reason. So I guess what I would say is the one thing that doesn't make sense is just build a master. Like if you build a master, you should probably then make the next step to get to an elder because there are a lot of goodies there. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive and time intensive. He may be planning to eventually do that. I mean, certainly, there's also an ambition that I initially thought maybe he was going. There's a double Elder Acolyte ambition. I thought maybe he'd hit that, but he hadn't. So I honestly, I think it is a science thing for him. Quite honestly. And these are probably, I mean, if you look, his capital is led by an orator with 5 charisma, and the statesman seat with 200 plus, it's now down 177, but it was 200 plus before, is going to be a lot of local civics, like another 6 local civics or something, right? So these are probably fairly efficient specialists as it goes for building, but still, it's kind of funny to hear that.
Yeah, his leader's doing great work as a governor now. Boy.
Yeah, a lot of stats picked up on that orator. I think he's up to 554 which means he's gained 5 discipline over the course of the game, gained 3 wisdom from his starting educated, and gained another charisma. That's a lot of stat gain.
Yeah. I mean, the Persia's making $90 a turn, and Carthage is Carthage is now up to plus 44. That's a lot better than where he was before.
Yeah, I wish he would spend a little bit of effort connecting his cities.
Sure.
Because I think that's super valuable. It's doubly valuable for Carthage, but it's also this stage of the game. A lot of these cities are building workers, and a lot of these cities are building settlers, or going to be. So, kind of be nice to see the extra growth bonus. Why is he building a trapper in his capital? The schemer does not have infinite amount of civics, only at 1 right now. Severely ill though, so we might be seeing. And actually, that's the death right there. So that was a doomed schemer gone. So we've swapped over now to a judge. A pretty nice follow up. Always painful to go schemer into judge while it's happening because of the discordance between those archetypes. But it is a really nice follow up if you open schemer into judge. Fixes a lot of the problems you have. You can start holding court to get that civics, to get those laws you're behind on. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that. I suppose it's Carthage. You're probably not behind in civics, but. And are we close to this Orator dying off? No, he's healthy and well at 52. Kind of an early death, honestly, for that schemer.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that that's something that Scientific probably wants to think about a little bit. Is he's spent a lot of legitimacy, but that option is going to disappear as soon as Darius dies.
Yeah.
So he may want a last burst of maybe that's when he's drawn the line, and that's when he'll declare war on the Thracians. Is like, once I die, that's over. So
yeah, possibly.
Buy a bunch when you're doomed, and then go for it. Does he happen to have a settler coming up somewhere?
I was just looking around for this. I was kind of curious. He's at negative food, but still has a bunch of food. And I don't do a great job when I observe tracking individual events. I don't find it super interesting from my perspective. But I am kind of curious where this food is coming from. He does have access to hunters. He could be running hunts, but I don't actually see any in the hunt capital.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have maybe.
No, he hasn't checked.
I do this.
Show you as projects in the city you can look, so he hasn't.
Yeah. No, I was wondering if he bought food at some point. I've done that in multiplayer games where I know some resource is going to be pressured, so I buy it early.
Yeah.
Like, if you know you're going to need it eventually, it's better to buy it now than wait.
Yeah, I've seen a little. I mean, there's a couple harvests up there too. Oh, by the way, did we miss the pearl? Oh, we missed the pearls when I talked about there not being any trader resources. There are the Scythian sites at the northeast and northwest.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch.
Of
quite a few. Yeah. Yeah, we did miss those. Although they're still quite a ways from being a city up there, but I guess they're getting pretty close.
So I wonder if what I was getting at is I wonder if Persia was harvesting, but then their scouts are dead, so I guess they weren't harvesting. Because you look at that Danish site they're over by right now. That is a 5-6 pasture site, right? There's 4 goats to the east and 2 to the west. That's 3 orders for Persia and a ton of food generation if they want that.
Yeah, that is a nice site. I mean, too many options is Persia right now, because
especially if you consider the far east side of the continent an option, then yeah, you just
that's what I'm saying. Like, that with that aggressive found, you gotta follow that up with some more city sites. Like, you gotta get those 2 Thracian sites that are in a beeline back home, because then you can kind of string together all that territory and have at least some sort of viable plan for defense. I would love to see him start building some roads at some point, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you guys, he's really fortunate in that Marauder still doesn't know, as far as I can tell. Let me switch over. Yeah, still does not know about that city, and is also having problems economically. I mean, how many units has Marauder even recruited the entire game?
You can see that. That is a stat available in the stat list.
Okay.
So if you go to show records and then go to stats, it's down military units somewhere produced. 8 for Carthage and 4 for Persia. So
no, I wasn't talking about military units. I was talking about mercenary tribe units. Which is right.
I think that's there too. Yeah.
Yeah, 11 for Persia, 2 for Carthage.
Yeah.
That was not what we maybe expected when the game began.
Yeah, no, not
probably
at all.
The opposite.
Actually, the more I look at this, the more I kind of wish Persia would. He's still banking that stone. He's thinking of something with the wonder. You're not gonna, when you're this short on resources and doing so many things right now, you're not just gonna be holding the stone for nothing. So he is thinking about some wonder. I just don't know which one. But
he's culture-wise, he's 11 turns away, and maybe it'll go faster.
Strong.
To strong. So what's in strong?
Kothon and
Uh,
Colossus are both okay. I don't think people are going to rush Colossus here, and the Iron's going to be the problem for that. I don't think I think Acropolis is probably the weakest wonder in the game right now, so I don't think he's going to be going for that.
yeah,
It could be Kothon. It's not bad on this map.
yeah, I wouldn't mind Kothon at all. I mean,
600 wood
just
is not going to be cheap right now, though. I mean, he's got the forest down south, but he hasn't got a city there to like kind of
yeah,
base his chopping out of yet. I wouldn't mind
yeah,
still,
yeah.
even
I
at
don't.
this point, seeing like Hanging Gardens.
Yeah, I don't see any of these are option. Yeah, why doesn't he have hanging gardens down? That seems strange. Uh,
I mean, it
he's got
might
plenty of civics.
be
I
worker
mean,
time.
he's the yeah. I mean, he's the wood, obviously, but he could probably even sell the stone and buy the wood. It's only needs 400 stone. So
Yeah.
yeah, this seems really late. I would love to have the like average time for most of these things. I mean, there's been some work on the stats for these games, but it feels like turn 37 is pretty late for no wonders to be up.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
And I mean, there was a little conflict, but not, I think we were expecting more conflict. There hasn't been anything for quite a while. So,
I think
the
go ahead.
Scientific is starting to upgrade those Gallic, his mercenary units in his eastern city, and he just recruited another one from the
Oh,
Gauls.
this Eastern City. Man,
Oh, did he pay 8 legitimacy for that unit?
God, I hope not. But he may
Let me
have.
see if I can guesstimate here. Because it looks like he recruited someone just to the west of the Gallic camp.
He spent 36
it was from
legitimacy in
the
order
Gauls.
recruitment. Wow.
Why did he spend 8 legitimacy for that unit? He could have recruited from the Thracians.
Are the Gauls the ones
like,
with the forest bonus though? I think they might be.
yeah, I guess so, but
Because he did
he must
immediately
be
upgrade it too, right? Yes, he did.
man. Is he planning to take that Gallic camp soon? I mean, is that the plan to
Well,
actually settle behind the other?
I'm shocked by the second worker here. If this was a settler, like
Yeah,
I could get
settler would
behind
be
that
for
yeah.
sure, 100%. A settler.
Because like
I would
he
love
could
to,
just then
because
push
that's
up the coast and be like a real pain in the ass.
I mean, you can't march. I mean, he did, but like marching a settler all the way east. I mean, this
Yeah,
is.
I know you can't do it. You tell Sion that. He'll find a way. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, I don't understand the combination of recruiting this Gallic, unit for the highest price possible and then not building a settler. That goes, he should only be doing. You should not be doing both of those things at the same time. So
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Back to Simo play. It's a little bit difficult tracking all the things. I'm just kind of bouncing around looking at stuff.
Oh, I didn't notice. When did they go back to simultaneous?
They suggested it a while ago. I'm not actually sure when they did switch, but it's good when there's not active conflict. It does make the game go a lot faster, so it's good of them to track that. You rarely see it go back. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen it go back to simultaneous.
There is some there's some downside to that because I was talking to Fluffy about this a little bit. They had their first match, the first part of their current match, entirely in simul. Because they were kind of far apart like that. You don't have as much processing time because you don't have your opponent's turn to think essentially. So you're doing a lot of kind of like just, I have my unit, I'll move it, that kind of thing, because you have to work through your time bank and you don't have a lot of it. So
but everything is zero sum in this game. So who needs more time to think? I would say Scientific needs more time to think.
He's got more units going on for sure. But here's maybe where those 5,000 or 6,000 hours of playtime comes into play.
Sure.
It may be very instinctual, a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know Marauder's history nearly as much.
Yeah, me neither. Too bad. 2 ambitions uncompleted for Marauder on the way out. 5 specialists and 5 Dane kills. 4 of 5 and 3 of 5, but obviously they're going to be half ambitions.
Oh, is he doomed? This might be why he...
His old one.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Wait, what? What are you saying?
I'm saying that Marauder has aging ambitions that are when his schemer died that he didn't get to complete. Although his new leader is ill again, which is hilarious. And then Sion's leader is now doomed. So this will be also with 2 ambitions that will roll over as totally untouched. By the way, who takes 6 treasuries in a game like this? That's a crazy ambition to pick up.
I don't know what the event was, but that is kind of nuts. Okay, maybe this is why he recruited that unit, because he was probably severely ill or doomed at the time.
One more.
Just trying to grab as many as you can out the door. Is there? Can you do more than one in a turn? I've forgotten if there's one.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. Say again.
Can you do more than one recruit in a turn?
Yeah, I think it's just an order plus the legitimacy, right, to recruit. So you ought to basically recruit as many as you want in a turn, as long as you're willing to burn all the legitimacy.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to take a couple more Thracians before things are over. I mean, he's actually at peace with them, so Like he'll probably get maybe even a discount. How much does it cost? Still 3 legitimacy, which is pretty good for considering how much he's bought.
No, he's doing something really unique here. He has a princess who's a diplomat. That's his next in line, diplomat.
Oh,
So he's
that's what he's
gonna,
doing.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh, this is brilliant. Okay,
So he
okay. I
managed to get
like.
peace with the Thracians. So he's gonna settle under them and then control their units, right?
Yes, absolutely. And he needs a lot of money for that. And so he's actually in decent shape there. I love. Okay, I take everything back I said about not going for the Thracians. I mean, this is the move. I wonder when he had the diplomat available. I mean, it must have been
It's been a while,
a
and
while ago.
considering diplomat and orator hate each other too, right? Like, is that right? Is it those two that hate each other? I'm not sure. Maybe his heir just hated. I can't remember actually for that. Scratch that. Let's just say his heir has been hating him for a while. So, but it's been a plan, right? Like he's clearly
Yes.
forced diplomat, no, not forced it, but chosen it out of his options, even though it's not.
Yeah.
A
Well,
the queen
is 25, so it can't have been more than 10 turns that he's known he's had a diplomat.
True.
So it can't have. I think there was definitely a period of time where which was dicey, but probably when he founded the city, probably when he was marching a settler across. At that point, he knew he had a diplomat. So
this is a wild opening from Sion. Orator opening into diplomat. 0 laws on turn 39. Buying every unit ever with orator, including 8 legitimacy cost ones. This is a wild opening. It's really fun to watch. Very different.
Yeah. No, I love this. I mean, he's going to be able to. It won't be hard to take these. He just needs the tribal alliance, and they get 2 settlers out. He'll be able to get these 2 Thracian cities, and he'll have a somewhat contiguous, brand. And there's a 3rd Thracian. There's sort of 3 sites. And there's a bunch of Thracian. I mean, there's 5 Thracian sites in the south. I don't know if he'll be able to afford that, but he can at least take the 3 that are on the southern coast of that lake. And that's fantastic.
There it is. It's free Polton. So he did continue his tech line. His tech is still abysmal at 25 a turn, but he did go straight for that. It looks like he.
What did he pass over? I mean, I guess maybe the issue is the composite boat and asceticism are both pretty expensive. So.
Yeah, I think his UU here is actually pretty solid for him. I think he's no laws here means no garrisons, and none of the benefits from the laws, and a lot of the, especially labor force, is really strong early. They're all pretty strong early, so I'm expecting him to try to work on that. Yeah, he did just finally take centralization, which of course he's going to be needing, because his science is going to be abysmal right now. So we'll see.
He's got 2.
This opening didn't come without cost. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got 2 kind of tight battles going on with the raiders in the south and trying to clear that Danish camp. So he's actually in a pretty tight spot right now, order-wise.
That UU is going to help a lot for the Rider capital, but I agree. Like this is 3 improvements pillaged in the Rider capital, and his units are. I don't know if he's going to win this without that UU. Thank God it's coming out next turn for him.
Right.
I guess, So.
Yeah, I mean that's a mess down there.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's doing a lot though.
I mean he'll survive. Obviously, it's just going to be a big pain in the butt. I wonder how many. I'm trying to see. Can we see if he recruited any more before dying? I guess we can't. It doesn't look like he did.
You should. There would be an animation, not an animation, an icon over their head to show that, right? So it would have been that last turn. I didn't see it.
But of course, if he goes tribal alliance, he wants as many Thracian units on the map as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the other play here of like go alliance and just take all of those units. I mean, you won't have enough orders. Just start slowly moving them north towards Carthage. I mean, who cares what you lose? It's just going to make life miserable for Marauder.
Yeah, and you probably don't expect when you're counterpicking Persia, and Persia did pick first. You probably aren't expecting that steadfast is going to be very important. But
right.
Yeah. There's another thing. Oh, improvement count. I just had a look at that. Improvement count is now double in favor of Marauder. 20, not double, 50% more. 29 to 20. If we look at full science.
See, improved ratio-wise, that's improved then for scientific. It used to be worse.
Sure. Total science is actually what? Oh, this is production, not total. Okay, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. So, actually, much closer than I expected by that much of a deficit for so long. I guess this early schemer death kind of hurting Carthage's total bank science with 200 produced. Remind me, do you know if this includes tech cards purchased or not? Do you know?
I don't. Probably. I mean, I assume it does. I don't know why it wouldn't, because it's still like
it's total produced
tech that was produced that got some. Yeah, it's supposed to be measured. I assume before it gets spent.
Okay.
So.
Oh no! Severely ill on this judge. So the new judge for Marauder, going down real quick. I mean,
Well,
Granted,
that'd be much worse for Scientific. I mean, Scientific's whole plan here is
yes, yeah. If he doesn't
the
get that
alliance.
tribal alliance off and that happened to Sion, that would be pretty rough for that.
So is he missing the training? Yes, he needs to save up 2 more turns for training.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't have that training ready right on the switchover, but because I'm not sure what he was necessarily spending it on.
He's upgrading his units he purchased, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I think he should have made sure he always had 400 available. But
Yeah, possibly. It's sometimes tough to do that, and sometimes the timing is.
yeah,
You expect to get a while out of your area, and they did. Did she wait? Oh, did it switch sides? No, she's dead. Did I miss doomed on that? I must have missed doomed on that leader.
yeah. Boy, that went fast. What do we got? Is this it doesn't even have an archetype yet. We got 14-year-old.
Yeah, so presumably we're going to be seeing a regent here in a minute.
What's she in school for politics? Yeah. So hero, orator, judge, scholar, or diplomat. Have we seen many tribal alliances in the tournament? I don't even remember.
I don't think we've seen any yet. This may be the first.
It's weird. It's always been, and I know that everyone here is obviously playing to win and use every advantage they can. I've always been afraid that tribal alliances are overpowered, but I mean, no one has really pushed that side of the game yet. So I guess we will see. We'll see what happens this game.
No, Sion's about to lose an improvement because it's been 10 turns since it was pillaged by the barbarians. Oh my god, they did so much damage to this city.
I can't believe it's been that long.
I know.
Does he have any? Oh, he's gonna lose it. There's no other way around it. Man, rough.
Well, I mean, he could kill and repair it this turn, I suppose. But no, you're right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. He will have a chance, I guess. Yeah, especially with a Pelton. Wait, no, it's
used.
He's gonna lose it.
Yeah, he's
gonna
lose an improvement.
Yeah.
So that ratio going back the other direction.
Well, that goal on camp will be easy to clear. So that's the thing he should do is as soon as he cleans this mess up, he should get rid of that goal on camp. No longer a problem. Which goal on camp has Zoroastrianism. Boy, Zoroastrianism is really spread. That was nice when the religion is already in the tribal site.
Yeah, it's nice when it's such a chance-based thing to spread. So it's always nice when you get a couple lucky ones for your game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I suppose you'd also prefer
over here, though. I mean, I know this is right after leader transition for Sion, so everything's going to be a little bit worse than it is normally. And currently, his diplomat is stressed as well, which isn't helping anything. But his resources are real tight. He's minus 50 gold a turn, so he can't even pay to get rid of stress quite yet. He's minus food. His gold income, or excuse me, his stone income is pretty weak. He is getting lumber mills out though, and starting to upgrade those. That will be good science, which is useful for him, and he will want those resources sooner or later. But he needs gold if he's going to be buying tribal sites, right? Isn't that how that works for your settlers? Been so long since I've had a tribal alliance.
Yes, I fear it will probably be like 500, 750, 1,000, something like that.
Oh wow, so that's a lot of gold too.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean that's what I try. I was always afraid it was overpowered, so I'm like, okay, make sure it's pretty expensive. But it seems like he had more gold, so we spent it on something.
Yeah, it could be resources, it could be these settlers. I mean, food's negative food. It's now 600 for a settler for if you just purchase the food outright.
Yeah. I mean, he has a diplomat now, but he lost the discipline from his previous leader.
Yeah.
So,
remember his orator was like a 4 or 5 discipline orator at the end, which was a lot of money coming in.
And each of these sites, these settles, is going to be extremely expensive maintenance wise. So, like, it's easier. The thing is, it's often like easier said than done. They're like, oh, I'll just settle all these tribal sites. It's like, well, yeah, sure, good luck. Good luck affording that. Like I did a tribal where we often play these sort of like play by cloud, or actually we use a headless server for these Mohawk team games. We played our 4v4, and I had a tribal alliance that I made work really, really well. But I essentially need the whole rest of the team just to bankroll me. Right, like they were constantly sending me resources for me to sell, so I could afford to settle these sites. It's very expensive, and it gets harder the more you buy.
Yep. So his plan needs another component. He's got to sort out gold. Maybe he may not have the orders or workers to do it right now, but I wonder if we'll see a round of hamlets. I mean, he does have the tech for he did tech Polis, right? And he needs money.
Maybe that was his long-term plan. Gotta get those hamlets.
He gets he gets to get those pearls in his borders in Ortispana as well.
Nice.
That will be good income if he can get those online.
That's a funny city site. He better not let that site flip back to a tribal site that's in there. It says 6 turns left.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus on everything. Yeah, it's funny
Actually,
looking
you
at
know
that.
what? You know what I expect? I'm expecting maybe treasuries. He has a gold problem. He has ore or not or stone rather, excuse me, and he has an ambition for treasuries, right? So that may be
Uh,
his gold fix.
I guess 1, 2. The issue is that he has to get one up in every city. He's got
Yeah,
6 cities, so he has to devote a build in every single city.
yeah. It's not exciting to build treasuries either. So
Like dropping out of the game for 6 turns, basically.
yeah.
Um, but
I
yeah, it's
don't.
interesting that mountain site we've talked about. He's got a number of units there, but they're just sort of stuck there.
Yeah,
They're probably just gonna sit there for the next 23 turns. I suppose at some point he could. Would be interesting. He could actually take those units and push Terrandon right now. I mean, I don't see his scout
yeah.
isn't
That kind
close
of
enough to know, but like,
then he's not going to have orders, right? He just had 2 leader changes. His legitimacy is going
yeah,
to be like near the bottom, and he's going to have
yeah,
no extra orders. And in fact, he doesn't, right? His order rate
yeah,
is 12.2 with another 5 in
yeah.
improvements. So that's almost nothing.
I mean, this is
But
another thing of like, there's no way to know this, but 3 turns ago, when he was trying to fight off those raiders, like if he had pushed then, like it would, he would, Carthage, Scientific would have been a pretty bad situation, having like no military units in those areas, and like having to be forced to spend orders all sorts of other places.
yeah,
But at any rate, I mean, I guess that's just the thing. Like, he's got these military units, but like, under what situation is he ever going to actually do anything with these guys? Like, he may as well have not even built them.
yeah, that's the funny part because he takes a city, he wins the fight kind of in the sense of he
mm,
loses a unit, it's very costly, but he gets the city down and he protects the ore
yeah,
and whatnot. But then he
yeah,
with his vision right here, he's just spamming units there and not doing anything with that, and he's losing the settlement pattern the rest of the game, right?
yeah.
I think the
And what's
city
that
count is.
site?
Go ahead.
What is that city actually doing for you? It's losing money. It's negative 16 net, and making less than 1 science.
I
So
think the
like,
training
what
is
is
going to
that?
be valuable, or is just a very valuable resource in my opinion.
Yes,
So I do
yeah,
think, and when he has husbandry, once he gets the horses online, it's a quite a good site, right? Both a half an order, the ore, and a nice strategic location. So I don't hate this city, but I do think
mm,
at the moment it's a net loss for him now, even though I think
yeah.
eventually it will be worth quite a lot.
I'm just arguing this. It's not as good as people would think it is. Like, obviously it has some benefits. Every cities have some benefits, but there's definitely some significant costs to it. And shoot, I'm losing my train of thought here. But yeah, it's kind of like, how are you actually turning this into some sort of advantage that's going to help you win the game? That's
Yeah.
the thing that's harder for me to see for the city.
Yep, I think you are correct. At least in the short term, it is not an advantage for his game at the moment. Although it's tough to say because you have to run the counterfactual then. So what would happen? What would this game have looked like if Sion had that middle site? Would this be now like a game where his statesman capital is getting pressured? He doesn't really
Yeah,
want that to be his front line. He doesn't want to have the mismatch of all of his units being non-statesmen fighting in statesman territory. He doesn't want his decree site being pressured, that kind of thing. So it is tough to
right.
get
Well,
a clean
you can
evaluation
make
of that.
yeah, you can make an argument though that it was good for Scientific that he didn't end up with that city, because that means that Marauder is forced to stick his military units there, which means, like, okay, let's say Marauder hadn't got that city. What would Marauder have done? Marauder probably would have sent that military force south, right, and started grabbing those sites,
Yeah.
which I think long term is going to be a big problem for Marauder, that he has like literally no units south of his capital, right? Um,
Yep.
and so maybe like, in the grand scheme of things, it was better that Marauder for Scientific than Marauder ended up with that city. I mean, it's hard to prove that, I guess, but I wonder if that's true.
Seeing some interesting things here. So I just checked. It's not a free unit. So Sion actually built a trireme, unless there's an event that spawns triremes that I'm not aware of. I assume for
Oh,
faster reinforcement of settling the southern coast here. But I'm
really?
not 100% sure on that. Still no
Wait, you said
wonders started. Go ahead.
a trireme?
I'm sorry. I meant bireme. My bad.
Okay.
Actually, kind of. It must be an event though. He doesn't have navigation, right? But he also doesn't have the tech. He doesn't have steel. So the free bireme is at steel.
Must have been an event or something.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how to get a boat out of an event. I didn't even know that was a thing. So he's got a boat now, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I apparently I let 3 turns go by without noticing this, but Scientific is researching navigation.
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud of him. this would be a great move.
Yeah, getting some orders going.
Waiting for this for the whole game.
Yeah.
So what is going on with Carthage? They have a Byrene? Is this where is the Byrene?
It's not Carthage. It's
Yep.
Sion. It's
Oh,
Persia.
Sion has a.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
great. Oh, that's even better for.
It's actually gonna be very helpful for him
someone,
here. Like it's gonna let him
for someone pushing.
It's gonna let him bring those settlers directly from his capital down the coastline with Anchor, which is gonna be great for him. Switching over.
Yeah.
I mean, Carthage is just struggling right now with this double leader change. It always messes my game up if my leader dies and then that leader dies almost immediately after. It always messes me up super hard, and I think it's doing that here as well. He's taking a free archer to re-roll right now because his other techs are too expensive. He's just suffering on orders. I was looking through it earlier. The Persia orders are really noticeable right now at this stage of the game, and he does not yet have, even as Carthage with this much amount of civics, does not yet have navigation. So he is just hurting on orders right now. Don't think he's ended up with that many statesmen. I don't know why he's chosen. So this, I don't know if this is inexperience or this is some strategy I'm not aware of. He's gone very heavy on artisan cities as Carthage.
Yeah, that's odd.
Instead of the statesman, so he's even missing
You think you'd make at least one of them statesman, like not just for the orders, but to balance out the family opinion.
Yeah.
This is strange.
His family opinion's okay, but you're not going to get the major benefits of statesmen if you only put one city down, don't get their happiness up, and don't get the orders per city. It's actually kind of weak. So
I see that one of Scientific's families switched to paganism, and the other one went paganism. So unfortunately for him, he's not really getting the full benefit of Zoroastrianism now.
Well, he has okay civics, and he does own the Zoro head, so he can convert these families if he wants to invest the orders and civics into it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're seeing that, like, with this sort of orator play of like I'm going to go recruit people, like Persia is a good match for that because you're going to need the orders. So I'd be interested to know if that was the plan from the very beginning.
I think it was. He opened Persia and opened Orator. I have to assume that, and he picked first. I have to assume he was thinking tribes when he opens Orator, right? So.
Right.
Yeah. Question from Fluffy now asking about I did get Twitch working finally. Asking if Carthage at war with all tribes. He is, yes. Although I don't know if his economy is so wealthy that he can afford to be doing much with anyways. No, everyone is 0, right? Like Carthage is at 11 food per turn, which means it's 10 turns between settlers. 44 gold per turn, which means he's basically not contributing much gold to anything. Decent iron and stone, which I assume is from slavery, but he's not on slavery, he's on freedom. So that is actually, he's built a fair number of mines and quarries, it looks like. And if I swap back to Persia real quick, Persia getting their income up. Is that Persia also on freedom? So they're both thinking settlers and workers. Starting to build improvements. Still no gold income though. So likely going to try this tribal alliance thing at plus 395 standing with the Thracians right now, and actually in a tribal alliance. So that did occur. That event occurred. I missed it too.
Yep.
But not going to be able to settle for ages like that. And actually, hilariously, if he can't get the gold to work with that, it actually prevents him from settling the Thracian sites. Not makes it faster, So he can move all these units, and so he is probably moving these units. That's probably why we see this train of Thracian units moving northeast.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is a. I don't know. I was gonna say it's a bold move. I don't know it's a bold move. It's not really very risky, but like it's I mean, this is why one of the reasons to get the alliance. Just like make your opponent paranoid, because the units could be coming from anywhere. And I love the idea of moving tribal units because, like, theoretically, I mean, these are good players, so they know what's going on, but like it also implies this thing of like you're not sure if their units are doing it on their own or if your opponent is doing it or whatever. Like it's kind of fascinating. The question about Carthage being at war with all the tribes, I mean, there's 2 tribes that Carthage hasn't even mentioned yet, but met yet.
Yeah,
I think right? Haven't met the Gauls. Wait, I guess maybe there's no one else left now. I guess the Danes gone probably.
They have not yet met they've met Scythians, they've met Thracians, they have not met the Gauls, Carthage. So they don't know about the Gaul site to the southeast. They actually
the south, the scouting to the south is abysmal. I mean, there's a Gallic city, like it's one of the closest cities to Carthage.
Yep.
And he's never met them.
Those 2 scouts, I mean, he doesn't have the orders now, but those 2 scouts early, just both moving across. I really wish he'd spent one of those, for his sake anyways, one of those scouts filling in the blanks a bit while one keeps an eye on Sion.
Marauder is lucky that he never cleared that barbarian site south of Carthage because that'll make things just slightly more difficult for Scientific to aim for his homeland.
Yeah.
that can't have been the plan originally. I'm kind of curious why it's just been there.
What happens between barbs and tribal allied tribes?
Well,
Do they
if
fight?
they're on your side, they sort of, well, a lot of this is some actually really tricky logic, but as far as I understand, they're going to be, they can attack the barbarians. Like they can attack anyone that you're at war with.
Okay, but they don't do it automatically. You're spending orders to make that happen. Is that correct?
Well, yes, you can spend orders to attack, but I think they will attack on their own too. It's just normally they're not in range, right?
Okay.
Because normally they're going to hang out. So if he moves these Thracians forward and then stops, the nice thing is once he pushes them far enough forward, they'll eventually start doing stuff on their own.
Sure.
So,
but what
you
about
really just want to
what
get
about the interaction of the barbarian just southeast of the Thracian camp, just to the west of Sion's super forward expand? Will the Thracians kill that barb on their own?
Yes.
Okay.
They should. Yeah, because they're hostile.
Huh.
So they may not pursue, but they'll definitely attack.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like there was one other diplomatic alliance in the tribal alliance in this tournament, but only one other one. So this is a mechanic I have not done a lot with, and not in a very long time. I remember a single player game I had with this years ago where I played at least one tribal alliance, but I haven't touched it probably since then. So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, the logic is a little tricky. Since the barbarians are always hostile to you, like that was a pretty easy thing. I'm like, okay, well then they'll also always be hostile to people in tribal alliances. But there is kind of this awkwardness of trying to remember how it works. Like, could Carthage make a truce with the Thracians? I think it'll block that. Let me see if I can figure that out. Unfortunately, this is one thing I'm never happy about as a designer. If like I can't remember off the top of my head like how it works. It's like there's kind of problems either way.
Yep.
Like, can he make? Yes, you can't make a truce with the Thracians if you're at war with their ally.
Gotcha.
So if he was not at war with Siontific, then you could theoretically make a truce. But since he is at war, they're basically like, well, I'm gonna have to ask my big brother if it's okay, and so obviously that's will always be a no.
Yep.
So, but man, yeah, these Thracian units are, I mean, these are all, wimpy units, but like, well, they're elites. They're 4-strength units. Not horrible. I mean, there's literally no military units in Carthage or Leptis.
Yep.
Or Utica for that matter. I mean, there's a less than half health militia. And did he find? I guess he probably just spotted them for this turn, I would guess. So this is the turn Marauder realizes.
Well, he may or may not realize. You do see tribal stuff moving around a bit.
Yeah, so, sure. Yeah, you just ignore it, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying about tribal alliances. It makes it really fascinating. Is you don't know if it's a natural thing or.
Well, on Simon, you probably know, right? Because it can't be moving on your turn. So if he sees it move on his turn, then he'll be like, something's going on here. But yeah.
Yeah, pretty good chance he was not looking.
Here. Go ahead.
There's a pretty good chance he was not looking at that part of the screen. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple other things that happened. We did see our first wonder started actually quite a while ago now, maybe 4 or 5 turns. We missed it, right? 6 turns? I don't know. Ziggurat got started in Carthage, which isn't a bad one. He has an ambition for it too, so it's going to do double value for him. It's going to be quite good there. Seeing him get hurt again by his scouting, if we look at, I was trying to figure out why his cities weren't city connected when they all touch the water and have rivers running to them, but he hasn't busted the fog in between his capital going north. So until he gets a boat or sends a scout to the east, he's losing all the money from the Carthage city connections for a couple of these places that would otherwise be city connected, at least through some of these fog locations on the rivers, right? Or maybe it's a road here. So if we look here, like Utica, Utica's already city connected, but
Molluth does not. Yeah, Molluth doesn't naturally connect to the coast.
Oh, it needs a single road to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the main issue is he needs to get a road to Leptis, and it'll cost one turn, 2 turns. Well, one, on the pass turn. So he probably hasn't noticed, but that would definitely be a good idea, especially as Carthage.
All right, we do have his I think this is the non-regent leader, right? This judge, she's now 19, so he has opted for another judge. Book of Secrets is going to help stabilize that family stuff a little bit, which is good after the double losses. He's got to see this tribal wave though now. Yeah. Will he respond?
I just noticed they all, I know about all of them, but most of them just suddenly moved. So it looks like Siontific is letting those units do their own thing now. Like the turn flipped, and like I just saw a bunch of them move.
Oh, interesting.
Northeast towards Carthage, and he may not need
acquired the militia or something. So that militia may be hurting him by being there.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. That is absolutely the case. Like it's within 2 times. Yeah, it's within like 2 moves from them. That's funny. I guess they're on the tribal level. I'm clicking on the units. It shows them only moving 1 step.
That's correct.
So
they only have 1. Yeah.
But that ranged unit can hit the militia next turn. So if he doesn't do something to the militia will die next turn. And again, he may not even notice this at all. He does not see the borders of the city that was founded at this point 10, 15 turns ago.
Yeah.
He
does have that archer though. He has that tech unit archer that he re-rolled for. He'll have at least one unit there, and he can build more units, but he hasn't started moving down there, and that is going to be spooky. His wonder is actually there. Could we see the diplomatic tribal alliance cancel the wonder? It seems like the timing is probably a turn or two shy, but it threatens it.
If those units get that close to his capital, then something horrible, something really, really gone bad. But I mean, because it's going to be a while for those units to actually get there. But it'll obviously cost. The real cost is that Carthage will have to stop everything they're doing. Okay, the archer is on the way now, and the militia's going to heal. Okay, so he's obviously aware of what's going on now. Yeah, those barbarians are going to protect Carthage a little bit, because this could be a lot worse if they weren't there. Because if his Thracians get distracted and try to attack those barbarians instead, like that would be really bad. Siontific. So he may want to take control of those units and keep pushing them northeast.
But his order intends to do that, and he's got a lot of cities for only plus 19.
But I mean, he's got a great opportunity here to put a lot of pressure on Marauder. So if I was him, I would probably do that. So he's not, as far as I can tell, he's not in the. There's no other burning fires going on. The raider is done. He's cleared that Danish site. Otherwise than that, he's in pretty good shape. He's done expanding in the north, right?
Yeah. Or one more city, anyways, but yeah.
He needs money and a settler, and beyond that, there's nothing really else he needs to spend orders on right now. Does he even have a settler up yet?
Sion, you're talking?
I missed that. What's that?
You're talking Sion?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look in the unit list.
Maybe I'm not looking at Sion, so let me see if he's got.
I don't see it. It would be a civilian unit, right? I just see workers on his unit list.
Yeah. It's kind of odd. He's gone through all this effort to get the tribal alliance stuff. I guess I don't know. You think
he can't afford those city sites, so that's for sure. I would expect him to see that northern one. Yeah, he probably can't buy the food because he can't afford it because it's so expensive and he needs to sell to do it. But he does need that. His problems are kind of circular, right? In fact, I wish he hadn't settled Passagarde. I think that's probably worse than settling the 5 pasture resource one here that would fix his food.
So much better.
Yeah. He might be thinking he needs the pearls for the money, but I think he's also missing that he needs the food for everything, right? So
I mean, when's he going to get those nets up? I mean,
I don't know.
He already had 2 pearls in his borders, so
yeah, he needs to get those. I mean, but it's funny because he's building farms. This is what he says to do. When you're short a resource, fix it. Just drop these farms, which is true.
Yep.
But then he doesn't settle the next city that gives him better farms, right? The goats are much better farms for Persia.
I mean, if I was, I guess he must be saving for wonder. If I was him, I would sell all that stone and get a settler going and found a city. You got to get a city on that southern side.
Maybe at the same time, he doesn't have garrisons and he's only started barracks. So he is going to have a big stone cost kicking up shortly across his empire.
You see the Paulton cavalry moving?
No, he's moving
He just added the leader, moving along the southern coast, hoping not to get noticed.
Yeah, possibly.
Is he trying to team up with the Thracians?
He's 1 tile out of range of the sight line, or if you hold down / on your keyboard, you can see the sight line.
Yes, he's definitely doing that on purpose.
Yep.
And wow, okay. Interesting.
I do want to see what becomes of this. These Thracians just wandering over doing this. I mean, the militia's pulled back presumably to heal. The archer has moved into position, so we're tracking on it. Or Carthage is tracking on what's happening.
Okay, he just moved one of the units himself. Looks like he only moved 1. So yeah, his big problem is that barbarian camp.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, all these. It's not like he's going to go capture Carthage with the Thracians. All he needs to do is make life difficult for Marauder.
Yeah.
Right. And
he is. He almost doesn't even have to move forward. As long as these are here, how does Carthage expand south? He has to go through this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just that's the long-term plan for him.
Does if the Thracian units take that barb camp and kill it, do they put a Thracian camp there when they walk over it?
Yeah, I think they do.
See, that would be kind of cool if Sion moved him over to the east and then gets another spawning ground of his tribal alliance and replaces the barb camp. That'd be so cool.
That happened to me recently. He may not know that because that is fairly obscure. But that is true. It may be worth doing.
That would be so cool.
Because he's got to do something about the barbarians. Because right now the barbarians are almost like Carthage allies.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine if he founded a city right there.
And if those and if he's and if he can if he can get the Thracian camp where that Barb camp is, or his own city, and then
Yeah.
and then he keeps all these Thracian ranged units just hanging out in the forest. That's a 2-tile choke across unroadable
Yes.
territory. I mean, exploration will get you through those rivers, but like that's a nasty choke for Carthage to walk
Yeah,
into
it's
when
a
all
really
the
nasty.
defensive
Yeah,
units.
yeah. I wonder if he's just planning to hold that spot as opposed to.
Well, he's been
I'm not
playing
sure what the right
containment
move
game
is.
all game, right? That's where he put that city over there. That's why he bought those units early. He's just trying to
Yeah.
box Carthage in, so that fits perfectly for what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And the alliance
I mean, he
maintains
doesn't.
after the diplomat dies, right? Like it doesn't go
Yeah.
away when that happens. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The alliance maintains. They'll come back for more money. Like there'll be things that essentially will like force you to spend resources to extend it. I think the right move is to choke this spot because at this point, I mean, you don't. I mean, Siontific has played a pretty greedy game, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to get more greedy because at this point, essentially, Carthage only is controlling 25% of the map, right? So, yes, you could send the Thracians through that choke point, but you're dooming all of them, right? Like, clearly, Carthage does have a military, and that military is all in that northeastern quadrant. So, it's not going to be that hard for him to move that military, back to his capital and kill the units. To some extent, what else is he even going to do with his military, right? Like he's not about to invade Persia, right?
Right.
He moved his Pelton back, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He even has a Thracian. Yeah. Where did that Thracian unit come from? That's north of the lake. How did it even get there?
It walked up over time.
Like he walked it.
Yep.
The long.
Yep. From the Thracian camp down there.
Oof.
Yep. Yeah, I guess he's poking here, so these units being fortified there. Maybe he's trying to just divert Carthage's attention, poke multiple places at once. And it's funny because this is very greedy and it's very order intensive to move all of these units, although there's a lot of implied threat with so many Thracians standing around there. But I do kind of feel like Carthage is dropping the ball a little bit here. If he hasn't noticed, I mean, the fact he doesn't know south is a big problem, right? This is part of this problem.
A huge problem, the lack of scouting.
But he's got the techs, right? He's got spears and axes, and he doesn't have any places he can expand right now. But I don't see his build queues reflecting the fact that he needs to break out. His build queues need to be military build queues, so he can go push the spots to get the city count up that he needs to compete a little bit later in the game. But I'm seeing like miners and ranchers, and
it'd be interesting to know what Marauder's plan is right now, right? Because clearly, you always want to be thinking 10 turns ahead somewhere, right? And he's cleared all of the northeastern sites. So obviously that means you gotta move to some new theater. I don't think he's just gonna be like, well, I can just sit on this northeastern quadrant and win the game. That's not gonna happen. So but I don't see him really moving in force to the south, or coming up with some sort of plan. I mean, just building military units the most. I expect Cathargo and Leptis are going to switch to a military unit next. I would think they better. Like they're both finishing up their builds this turn. So
I think Utica will, and I think Carthage Nova will once it finishes improving that ore. It is at least a minor for an ore, but and I think he wants to be rolling units here. Even if he rolls warriors, he can look for a warrior that hits a steadfast upgrade and then upgrade that one into an axe or a spear, some version of that, so he can get units that are going to be very powerful versus this tribal kind of spam that's down there.
Yeah, I mean the right move for him is actually to move a couple of his units from his middle city back east to help out with the south, because he's going to want as many units as possible there. Although
that's where Sion's Polton came in, because Sion was expecting that. And if you look now at what Sion's done, is he's massed units over there. So again, he's poking two places at once, which I think is smart play, because his opponent hasn't responded. It's almost funny because like Sion has thought one move ahead. Well, when I poke south with the Thracians, my opponent will move units to deal with that. But his opponent hasn't moved units to deal with that. So like his poke in the middle doesn't work. So maybe
want them afraid. There's no road, so he wants them to be afraid of moving those units east. And he just you saw he just upgraded those elite Peltas. And added a general to the warrior. And has moved that Thracian. So he's definitely has a plan. Does he not have spears or axes?
If we look at his tech right now, he does not have steel, and he does not have axes or spears. Correct.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that he went for navigation and presumably passed up spears and axes on the way there. So
he's a little behind in science too. It's not super bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly, with that opening. But he is a bit behind in science, so he's going to have less techs available to him. And again, I think Carthage is probably just really reeling from that double leader loss right now.
Yeah.
Just still trying
Well,
to get back on their feet. No orders to play.
he has navigation, so I'm hoping that I'm expecting that Terrandon is going to finish Worker in 2 turns, switch to a Byreme, and he rushes a Byreme in Terrandon because it's now developing. Oh, he's moving on
Sion
the
is
city.
going
Oh,
in.
okay. I'm not sure what I think about this.
It's aggressive.
I mean, he doesn't have the units to take the city.
But
It feels like
he may have enough units that the Marauder can't push out. Those are not strong
oh
units.
yeah, interesting. The skirmish, meanwhile the Thracian wave maybe on its own has kind of drifted back westward.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if he did that or if that was just
No,
natural
no
movement.
shot. He's moving those away, right? Those don't help him at all to move away, and he doesn't have a city
Yeah,
to
but
move them rapidly to the north. Like if
I
he had,
think
go on.
I don't know what they're like. I'm pretty sure the barbarian logic would have been to go attack those barbarians. So again, I mean, maybe this is all part of his Byreme plan, or at least my Byreme plan. Like if he can rush a Byreme in like 2 turns, then in like 3 turns he can ferry all of those tribal units
Oh, I see.
across the lake and
No,
swarm
you're
to.
right. I forgot he had any coastal access. Pterodon does have those 2 tiles. You're absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, and it just went developing a little bit ago. So
Hilariously, he doesn't have horses improved as Persia in that city in Pterodon, by the way. But I was just wondering if he had if he had specialized the horses to get those water tiles. No, I just missed it earlier. He had a water tile earlier, didn't he? Maybe,
yeah,
or did he hit a border expand? His borders seem
no, he's had that for a while.
okay.
I brought this up quite a while ago that he could. I'm obsessed on Byrene, so I would love to see him do that.
Yeah, probably didn't hit culture level till recently, but yeah, he could have been hard building one earlier, and now he can rush one. He does have a chunk of civics if he gets there. So he did get some unit kills. Got a kill on that the warrior. Are they still in simul play right now? I think they've just swapped.
No,
now.
they're on turn base.
I
mean, there's a spear, which is not great for the Pelton, but there's not a lot of other units. There's only 3 other units there. So I mean, I don't.
Those
he's not going to
slingers
lose
don't do anything to that Pelton either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty significant force. With that warrior dead, no second spear, and the double Peltis there. Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah.
I don't like the spear on the barracks. I think if I'm him, I
should
want
be in
that.
the forest.
Yeah, exactly. The 50% is better than the 25 for the defense versus the range, I think.
Yeah.
Polton's a range
This is
unit too.
interesting. This is such an odd city. I think we kind of like puzzled over this of like, okay, yeah, you hold the city, but if someone moves in, it's hard to reinforce, right? So you're kind of stuck with the units that you have there. I mean, he's going to get another spearman out pretty soon, so the Paladin is not going to be able to stick around here. He's going to have to pull the Paladin out. So I don't see him losing the city.
No. But I do. I mean, I might see him losing it if this was intentional. These Thracians moved west, because as you're suspecting, he's going to rush a Byreme and then bridge across. I mean, he might lose the city if 12 tribal units show up. That's pretty cool.
Yes, that absolutely could happen. It's a timing question, because you feel like he kind of moved in a little earlier. No!
What just happened?
Oh, Carthage just bought the Thracian that he was moving in. Because you can still buy a tribal alliance unit, a unit that's allied. I'm sure it was very expensive, but
that's funny.
Yes. Oh, that's rough.
Oh, hell, that's a good move.
And that's the thing. That's the other thing. Those Thracian units might cross the Byreme, and Carthage does have the option to buy a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Which may be his only option at that point.
God, I hate this in Utica. There's a master officer coming up, and although Sion and I see the game very differently on most things, I tend to agree with him that I don't really like seeing, at a time where you're at war on 2 fronts needing to expand. I don't mind the first level of officer, the apprentice officer, for the science boost and the training boost, but the master level seems a very aggressive pickup here, especially when you have a warlike unit, you have a warlike governor already in that city, so your localized training is quite good. Like, I'd really like to see units coming out of there. He's got 3 military techs too, right? Why doesn't he use one of them?
Wow. Leptis and Carthage, neither one is building military.
Yeah, not concerned by these pokes. Thinks he's either got the resources to deal with it or can keep investing. No, Utica did just finally switch over to a spearman, so he's caught that at least.
Yes.
At least moved it back in the queue a bit, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I do. Yeah, I'm really flummoxed by this attack in the middle here, like whether it's the right move or not. Again, the Byrene thing's gonna be interesting, but yeah, Carthage can buy those units. Okay, he didn't. So though all those units just moved on the turn switch. They went to attack the barbarian. So it looks like he did purposely move them west. But now the problem with these units is you have to keep moving them, or they'll start doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Right. They aren't just going to hang around to cross the water. So I think he had an idea in mind, but it's going to be harder to pull off maybe than he anticipated.
I wonder if Tribal Alliance should give increased movement relative to the difficulty level, because one of the things that has happened, I mean, it could be another settings thing. We've been playing in this tournament with I don't think it's weak. I think it's like one above weak. It's not very strong tribes, right? Like, and it makes some sense. We want the conflict to be between players as much as possible, but it does kind of hurt that this investment for as a Tribal Alliance, he still can't really move these things very well at 1 per turn. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be a complicated feature. Not complicated, that's not the right term for it, but a
multifaceted.
Yes, one double-edged sword, right? In like a lot of different ways of like, it's got all this powerful stuff, but it's also kind of a real pain to make. And I wanted that to be kind of thematic. Like, it felt like that would be right for having a tribal ally. It's like, oh, you've got this power, but it's really hard to manage. Get them to do exactly what you want to. Like, that felt appropriate.
Bold moves from Sion here. He's retreated the Polton to heal. It's quite quick with his leader on it, giving it swift as well as just being a horse unit in general. But he's thrown his other units directly in here.
Yeah, they're very vulnerable. He doesn't.
And again, I hate this. I hate the barracks placement for this spear because I think it does get him in trouble here. He's just got eaten a peltist outside of forest.
Yeah, one thing about these. So one of the things I love about strategy games is like making people confront the difference between a correct move, a correct decision, and what turns out to be a correct move. If you understand what I mean. Like, I think moving into the city here, I think may have been the right move, but he didn't realize necessarily why it was the right move. I mean, I still don't know what's going to happen. My point, what I'm trying to say is Carthage did not have many military units in the area, right? But I don't think Siontific knew that. Although now, man, things are looking a little rough. I'm just imagining these units getting swallowed.
Yeah. Man, he did get through. I'm not sure why. Why was that unit on the barracks able to move into the city center? Why did the warrior not zop it?
Yeah, I don't know. I know. I think. Okay, what it did is it moved northwest of the barracks and then southwest.
Oh, right.
So
it moved out of
got out of zone control,
okay.
and then I think you're always able to move into a city.
Oh, I see. Because cities ignore zone of control. So if that wasn't a city tile, he wouldn't have been able to move to where the vest is.
Yeah.
But because it's a city tile, okay, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out well for him then. That he was able to that he knew those zone of control rules well enough to do that, or at least got the unit previews to show him that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You click on the unit, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's, the rules are maybe tricky to. Maybe not everyone remembers them all the time, but you got the preview to.
I think Marauder is worried about that barracks being pillaged. I can't see any other reason that he's doing not holding these wooded hills is so bad for him here, because those peltists are Highlanders, and he's given the tiles for the opponent's units to move into, and he's taking extra damage, which is just rough all around.
He just upgraded his worker to militia.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely very concerning.
Yeah, he should be. He's bought. I don't know about botched exactly, but he's made this defense harder for himself by the plays that he's made. So and these Thracians are coming back.
Yeah, that's really what they're doing.
I love it.
So we talked earlier about how sometimes it feels like the right thing to do. It seems like the right thing to do is retreat, but that often is not actually the case. What do you think about this current situation? Should Siontific keep going or pull back?
Oh, he's crushing the city. He should absolutely keep poking that. He's gonna every unit that is outside the city walls dies. Even if he never takes the city, right now he's trading almost nothing for a huge amount of pressure. And Carthage will be forced to react to this. If he can simultaneously do something with these Thracians to the south, like maybe he walks them up. I mean, he's kind of doing it already. Walk them up over the hills so that their autopilot takes over and starts doing stuff. That can be devastating here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
And he is building that trireme.
Yep.
So
Here's the
you're right.
bireme.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
whoa.
bireme. Excuse me. You're right.
No. What are you
No,
doing?
I like that
No,
because
go back
no,
to the
no. It
bireme.
makes total sense what he's doing here. He tried to walk them west, but they got sidetracked by this barb because he didn't kill his camp like we thought he does. So his plan of bireme is no longer good because it's going to take him too many orders to get them back in position. I guess he maybe could bring the bireme to them, but I get why he wants the orders now.
Yeah, the bireme could like anchor on like 3230
Actually, he
or
could
something.
bring them directly into the other city, the statesman city. Which would probably
he
even
could
be
invade
better.
that city if you want to.
No, you're right. I wish he would go back to that. I think you're right. I think the bireme is good here.
Why go back to the bireme? He even has the civics. He can have the bireme next
he can have it this turn. Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh man, what are you doing? He even had it. I mean, for some reason he thought it was the wrong move.
Can he only move one in it? No, I guess if he doesn't care about the tile ownership as long as he biremes. Yeah, so he could. There's probably 2 or 3 tiles he could put them in. I was worried that maybe they can't get off the coast, so he could only bring like one in a turn, but he could probably get a couple in. I mean, there's only a couple tiles. Maybe he's worried about the opponent just blocking them with like workers or something, so he can't land. But yeah, I agree. It would be an interesting threat.
Well, we have the knowledge though that Carthage just still does not have units near that city.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the thing that we can see that Siontific doesn't know. Like Siontific is still very much more vulnerable than he should be at this point. I mean, where are the rest of Siontific's military? What's going on here? Like you think at this point he would have moved everyone he had towards this middle city. But I
assume that he has a finite number of orders and he is doing like 5 things at once right now. So I assume he's running a little bit of like he'd like to move more units than he has the ability to.
Well, he's got like an elite Marauder up in Carthago Nova, right? Like why hasn't that one been moving west?
You said Sion, but you mean Marauder.
Oh yeah, sorry, I meant Marauder.
Yes,
I absolutely get why Sion is order constrained. He just has so many options, but Marauder only has so many military units. Period, right? Yeah. Like,
I think it's orders as well. If you look, like for example, that worker on the goat is almost dead to the barbarian attacking it. I think he is probably just getting a little overtaxed here on what he is able to do. I mean, he did have the double leader swap again, which is devastating if you don't have time to rebuild your legitimacy.
Yeah.
But some of it will help.
Siontific's
go ahead.
Siontific's looking really good here. I thought this was maybe a premature push, but like all of these forests, means that like ranged units are really not good defenders here.
Yeah. And if you give up those forested hills, now that's super scary, because not only are your units weak to attack, now you've given the opponents the best bonuses. I do hope Marauder remembers to assign serfdom here, because he needs those orders and he's got the tech available and it's on his side.
Yep.
Real tech card African elephant coming out 3 turns as well. That will be useful. That should clean up a lot of these Thracians if they get too close. That will be powerful.
Oh my gosh, I am so upset about the lack of the bireme here though. Like it would just make life so miserable for. I mean, that would guarantee capturing the city, basically. If you just send a few of those units over there just to make it impossible to reinforce the city.
Yeah, just with clutter.
So you don't have to spend many orders on it. You just have to spend 1 order to get it to cross the lake.
That's really interesting. Like you're trying to now, like you're always trying to optimize orders, but it's not even optimizing orders when you have the tribal alliance. It's like or rather the optimization takes 1 more level, right? Which is get them in a position as optimally as possible where then the AI or rather your ally does all the order expenditure for you. Yeah, that'd be
well, fun. you know what it is. I think I'm making a mistake here. I think I'm a little bit wrong. I mean, I was excited about the bireme. I think that, and then maybe Siontific didn't think this through as well. I think the issue, what he's afraid of, which maybe he doesn't need to be afraid of. I don't know how much money Marauder has. He's afraid of sending those Thracians over and then them getting converted.
Yeah, that's true, because if he sends the first 2 in, and they only have 1 movement point, so they can't go deep into the city. So maybe what he ends up doing is he rushes the bireme, anchors it, brings the couple across, and now Carthage just buys them, and now he's got the border blocked.
Yeah. I think that must be, which is so good for him to realizing that that's not the right move. I mean, he will still want a bireme there, like that is still a super valuable thing, right? But probably considering that Marauder has not brought in a lot of more units, I think it's the right move to just try to win with the units you have.
Yeah, it's hilarious that only the second tribal alliance is being proactively sought against a Carthage. That's funny that's the strategy.
Yeah. It's just kind of a situation he probably hasn't been in, so he didn't necessarily think through the. I mean, I didn't think through the ramifications of
No.
like, oh geez, like, these units could just get bought, which would be a disaster. Spearman's gonna be out next turn.
Yep.
Two Spearmen. This is still tight. I can see why. Where is the elephant? I'm looking at the wrong.
The elephant is 2 turns away from tech card in the Carthage capital. Or is that you're asking the timing on the unit?
Oh, did Carthage go for the elephant? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a tech card. It has
for some reason,
Carthage.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was Persia.
Yeah, we're about to see this is interesting. So Sion has gone even deeper with these units. He, by the way, did not pillage that ore. I mean, he hasn't had the time, or maybe he does. I would have liked to have seen him burn before attacking, but maybe I guess these units don't have enough action points as tribals. Either way, he's gone deeper in with these units, and he is occupying hills, which is great for him. But the second spear there is going to start getting a bit spooky. Not a ranged unit, so no protection for them, and also 5 strength versus these 6 strength hill units. Is Swift on the diplomat, so I assume he harvested a horse somewhere to get that.
Right, well, there's the spear. I was about to say it's going to spawn on the barracks. Well, it doesn't do a ton of damage against those.
No, they're
cultists.
That's right. They're the hill promoted. They're the hill faction.
Yeah.
Right? So they're 6 and 25% on top of that. So they're very strong for there. But he has moved adjacent to the city, so the spear in the city gets to start doing some damage, whereas before it was kind of constrained to being in there.
I hope that stonecutter was queued up and was not his choice.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I suspect it was.
There.
That Polton, though, is going to be done healing and will be able to return to the fray shortly. And if Sion has that wall of units blocking the spears from getting out, the Polton can sit on the hill behind and shoot if it wants. Meanwhile, Thracians doing Thracian things are moving in. That one is going to be allowed to do what it wants. 2 turns.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if he buys the Thracians there, it's not as big of a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's certainly something he has to worry about because now he's got a battle on 2 fronts. So I don't know if he moved any of these guys. It'd be really nice to be able to keep track of this, but yeah, I don't know if he started moving them that direction or this just happened naturally. I think he must have moved the one onto the hill because that barbarian is there. I think he would have instead tried to attack the barbarian.
Have you noticed? Carthage's families hate him too. He's they're real bad. So that's gonna make that discrepancy in strength from 6 to 5 even worse. If we look at
angry.
Yep. And if we look at Persia over here, if he gets some rebels, it's gonna be super brutal. I suppose he's freedom, so he probably isn't gonna be getting rebels anytime soon, but we'll see. If we look at Sion is 200 with his hunters, 100 with his riders, and still positive with his statesmen. So it's gonna be another skewing of defense, or skewing of power rather, in Sion's favor there, even though they're fighting in Carthage home ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
go ahead. I was looking at Carthage, and he's got 3 military units up in Maleth. Just kind of not really doing anything, and a couple units up in Carthage. He has some units that are just so far from where they need to be.
Yeah. He doesn't have roads either. I mean, this has been a complicated game in the sense that there's been conflict twice, and a lot of straining of resources is what it's been. So like things like roads, which are good and valuable, but also sometimes time intensive and require a bit of like thought to be like, oh, I got to get my roads going kind of deal. It just hasn't occurred. It just hasn't occurred for him yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't had extra orders. He hasn't been sitting around being like, I'm flush on resources. What shall I do? It's been like lead or death, fight, lead or death kind of stuff. So.
Well, he plays stone, so I really would have liked to. Once he went for got that middle city, it really feels like he should have had a road going from Carthage to Leptis, connect that all the way to the. It just feels like that was going to be very valuable.
Yeah.
I know easier said than done, but it would be very nice now, obviously.
Yep. He has not purchased that. He sent on 375 gold. It cost him 840 to buy that Thracian, so that is not cheap. Wonder if he could. He can't piece the Thracians, right? Because they're blocked by the Tribal Alliance. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Okay. So he's stuck. He's stuck fighting them.
He does have 900 stone though, and 500
He has a ton
iron.
of resources.
Yeah.
So if I was him, I would start buying some of those Thracians just to let them fight each other. Basically.
I was gonna yell at him for buying this mine, but I don't actually hate it right now. I don't know if he hard built this. I've been watching, or if he rushed that. I don't see the rush expenditure.
What, the miner? No,
Yeah.
it looks like he hard built it.
I don't hate it though. It
but-
closes the borders here right as he's starting to fight these
Yes.
things. So home territory is
Sure.
going to be useful there. But
Sure.
yeah,
But I mean, it's time to get some military going. I mean, he's really
it's past time.
cutting things close here.
Yeah. And it does look like the tides is still. I think Thevest is still in contention here, one way or the other, right? Every turn, the situation like changes. You know, now this archer has moved in and it's blocking the Thracians. I think the archer dies though, right? He's taking 12 from those, and the Polton's going to return this turn.
If
So
the
I think
Polton,
archer
the Polton
dies,
could finish it. Yeah,
but
you
then
gotta
there's
kill the
two
archer.
spears possibly in range of that. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. This is still contested. It depends who gets units there faster and what units they are essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who's going to, have the last unit, but that does tell me that, like, I don't think the city is in danger of falling anytime soon. But Carthage needs to keep pumping units, and if the Thracian wave causes a big problem, it's like the units are just kind of randomly moving all over the place. Wow, how did that barbarian not die? Got 1 hit point left.
Yeah.
With a bunch of Thracians. I mean, this is an alliance. The units kind of just scattered all over the place.
Yep.
It's kind of hilarious to see them.
I've seen some interesting developments here. So we're 5 years away from Persia taking a 10 legitimacy hit for failing 2 ambitions, and he may get that 4th law, but he doesn't have the tech yet and he hasn't started it, so it's going to be close if he hasn't. He's also building military in every single city. They're warriors. They're kind of crappy units and they're really far away, but he is, in his mind, he needs units right now, or rather 5 turns ago he said, I'm going to need units in 5 turns or whatever it is for this. And that is a very different mindset than we're seeing on at least the Carthage build queues, right? He's starting to switch over some of his stuff, but he's still doing only his specialized cities. His military cities are building military. Everything else is still spamming specialists at the moment. So he's definitely not thinking that. Go ahead.
I mean, it's so weird to me to see Leptis building a decree. I mean, I know he needs orders, but like, if you build a military unit in Leptis, you need less orders. Right?
I don't hate the decree. I think he's so constrained on orders that I get that, but I hate the rest of his build orders not being essentially his build queues being units.
I guess it's the closest one. I mean, that's why you kind of want your statesman capital way in your back line.
Yeah.
So like, I would have much rather had that been the Rider city, the Rider capital.
Wow, I'm
so
really
I think you mentioned that.
I guess it killed a
What
spear.
happened?
It didn't. They left the archer and killed
went for the spear?
instead. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was possible. Sure, I would kill the spear over the archer for
Yeah.
sure, considering the terrain there. Let's see, he's going to lose his slinger, but there's not a lot of units there, and
No.
he probably sees that Carthage is not bringing other ones. I mean, we're maybe even getting close to the point where Carthage gives up on that city. I'm not sure. It means he just doesn't seem to be reacting to it. I don't know.
Exactly. I'd like to see a couple other things from Sion. Sion can see this city is producing units. Sion is sitting on it's Carthage sitting on 2,000 training. What's Sion's training? I keep getting flipped on this.
Sure.
500. I still wouldn't mind seeing some burns going on here on the ore in particular in the barracks. That would be fairly reasonable just to prevent that city from spamming units right there.
Yeah.
But maybe it's an order thing.
I mean, I think, okay. Remind me how burn works. It doesn't end your turn.
It doesn't end your turn. Costs you 50 training.
Yeah.
It doesn't end your turn. Costs you an action point, and you get to destroy the thing beneath it. I don't think you get any resources for doing so, but you do shut it off.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be a good move. You're the one who pushed me to add something like burn.
Yes, I know.
Because you were like, you wanted some sort of pillaging, but you're like, I can never pillage because I need to attack. So
Yep, I know. I've had a lot of fun with interacting with these game systems over the years. It's been a lot of fun. And seeing it evolve, coming back after a couple year break has been just incredible to see kind of the state of it right now.
Yep.
So these Thracians being a nuisance, but and we are getting the elephant next turn, but I think that center city is looking pretty grim. Tough to say. It goes back and forth every turn.
I mean, he's got a spearman and a warrior waiting that could move west. It's going to take them a while to get there. Probably like 3 turns if he doesn't. But he's got plenty of training though. But not necessarily the orders. I don't think we're definitely not. I mean, the city's not about to fall, so I think he just needs to keep moving. And here's the thing about Carthage: Carthage is out of space, right? Like, what does Carthage's plan right now? This sort of feels like a later version, a much later game version of that game with Fluffy, where he got stun locked and just
Yeah.
he put up a valiant defense,
But
but
he was
eventually
encapsulated. Yeah, and
yeah,
that's
he's
kind of what's
encapsulated.
happening
I
here.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if Carthage is just stuck in the northeastern quadrant, even with this middle city, like they're gonna lose, they're gonna lose the game. Like at some point, just you're gonna need some cities.
Yeah,
And
this is why I have not liked this heavy investment in rural specialists coming out of
yeah,
Carthage. It's just this. He
yeah,
needs units. He needs to break out of this confinement and start taking cities again. And honestly, he just needed units both for that purpose, but also now he needs them for the fight.
yeah. And Carthage still does not know that there's a city south
I know.
south of
The
Carthage.
greediest settle we've ever seen in a game, period. Full stop, is the city, from my perspective. This Anshan city. And the fact that Carthage doesn't even know it exists is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, the Siontific is about to get 2 settlers out. I really want to see that Byrene, because that Byrene would also allow him to move the Settler to those city sites. So I really want to see a Byrene build next in Terradon, with a rush, of course. Because at that point, the timing could be perfect. The settler could be the right time for the Byrene to show up, and we could see 2 new cities south of Carthage within 4 or 5 turns.
Yep. But
Which is
he's
something Carthage
again.
is not even thinking about. Yeah.
Here we are. I mean, maybe it's extreme greed. He's not pillaging these things. He's like, I want the ore immediately when I take the city. I don't know.
Yeah, I would.
But it is Persia again, and this is going to be a turn where I would be shocked if that archer didn't die, and likely that militia dies too. But we'll see. We'll see what the actual damage works out to be. I mean, these Peltists are hitting for 6 on that forested archer. That's a lot.
That is rough. I mean, he's making life he's winning because he's making life miserable for Marauder, but I still don't necessarily realistically think he's going to take the city.
I don't know.
So,
yeah,
like I think it's the right move to attack, but I don't know when he's going to actually, because right now, if you look, he doesn't have any troops following him up now. Like the troops he's attacking with, these are the troops. There aren't any other troops within anywhere nearby.
Yeah, and this is order constrained though, because he has them, right? We can see the slinger backing up in the top. The warrior, is it now 2 warriors backed up in Ordaspana, and then the 4 units that he was using to clear the camp still sat where they finished and not moving in. So this is an order restriction why they're not moving there. And to be fair, he is moving all of the Thracian units at least every couple turns, kind of deal. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got settlers, but I would really like to see him pushing some more units to this attack. He's going to need. He's lucky that Carthage has been just literally moved one, as I said that. But he's lucky that Carthage has been not really pushing hard to get the city, save the city. I mean, now it looks like he's just given up on it, basically.
Well, I mean, Carthage is staging units in Leptis right now. The spear and the warrior healing presumably to upgrade to either an axe or a spear again. And we're expecting the elephant to either come out, or his next turn the elephant arrives, right? So, yep. And then he's fending off the Thracians in his capital, preventing the pillaging, so he's not going to lose his horses immediately, kind of deal, right? And he's bringing units from the north. So these are the responses we want. They're just a little bit later than expected.
It's late, yeah. He just upgraded to a nomad warlord. And so, he's starting to get some troops in position, but, he's also got to keep an eye on all these Thracians who are showing up.
Yeah. And it's so inefficient for him to move again.
Perfectly.
He's super order constrained with those double. What's up?
Oh, Terradon's still not building the Byrene.
I see. Well,
I mean, a chariot is great. Yes to a chariot, but just rush a Byrene. It's only going to take you 1 turn. You're going to benefit from it. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like he's moved those. When the Thracians started marching west, he made that decision to go decree. And as you said, he can't see the enemy gold. So, excuse me a second, let's cough.
But see, this also, one of the best things the Byrenes do is they make your opponent. He takes that Byrene and he anchors it, just southwest of Leptis. He doesn't even have to move units there. Like that, at that point, then Marauder is like, well, shoot, I can't move forward. I have to make sure that he's not going to attack, going to land troops at Leptis, right? So, just like the psychological factor is huge. Well, he rushed a chariot, so he can still rush a Byrene next turn.
Yeah, I don't really like the chariot rush here. It's not particularly good terrain for a chariot, and we already see the spears out. So
you need a drink of water.
Yep.
All right, so the elephant's out though, so we are going to see that do a thing.
Yes.
Presumably, a wave of units will move west, and he will presumably preserve that city. Although at the moment, I think Sion probably walks away with the Polton at least, and probably one of those Peltis.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if he tries to save the Peltist, or I mean, he probably just doesn't have the orders to save it, I would assume. So I'm not really sure what the right play is here. You know, like if Carthage pushes in, Carthage can save the city. It's just a question of whether Carthage is going to do that. It takes so many orders to get there. I mean, he really needed a road there 10 turns ago.
Yep.
How
do you feel about Apprentice Poet right now in Carthago?
Ooh, that's a choice.
Yeah, bold.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
The arts must go on, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, that's
surely he'll switch over to something else. But he started that, right? Because
he's already unit. Yeah. No, I mean he did it last turn, so I mean I guess he might as well finish it. I don't know why he's doing it.
That is called sunk cost, and he does not need to finish that. He needs to do something else.
Oh, do you think he like queued it up previously and it like that's sunk cost? He could bring it for money. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, why is he building an apprentice boat? But at any rate, I mean the city's already strong.
Yeah.
So even that thing is not really needed.
I mean, I didn't go as far as to go to the Legendary Wonders, but they're not extremely exciting for like immediate impact on the field either. So yeah, it does not make a lot of sense to me. I guess it's the only thing I can think of is he started monasticism this turn, and it's a long tech, and maybe he's looking at tech again. But man, it seems like a decision that doesn't meet the situation of the game right now. The board state seems to mandate something else.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe he'll change it up. Plenty of time in his turn left. Yeah.
Huh. I'm kind of went for monasticism also over composite bow.
Yeah, I looked at that too. I think it's the law count is the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah, right? I guess so.
He's looking for his
what's
fourth
he at
law.
right now?
3.
Oh yeah, he uses fourth law. And there's no other option there.
His tech, if you click on the tech tree and then hover mini tree, it shows you he's got citizenship, comp bow, and land consolidation. And
yeah, he could have gone for citizenship though.
It's true.
Get twice as fast.
Well, same tech cost. So why would it be twice as fast?
Oh, is it? I thought monasticism was. Oh, okay. My bad.
But it would have given him more orders and he is order struggling, right? Because he would get divine rule. So, but I mean, he can do. Honestly, who knows? You know, I get he wants a fourth law. Those are kind of a toss up. Not too worried about that one way or the other. I'm more worried about this poet than I am particularly those techs. He's at 0 wood. I mean, 31 per turn isn't bad, but it's not. Oh, we're not talking ranges. We're talking courthouses, right? I don't know. Courthouse could be good too for Leptis if he's just spamming decrees.
Sure. I mean, monasticism. I mean, I like monasticism if you've got some sort of religious play going, right? But
he did hit Judaism for a while. It was costing him like minus like 150. Like he had the guy who hated him. I don't know if he's fixed that right now. No, he's still. Right. I mean, he's got to fix his families. This is minus 160 on artisans, minus 120 on riders, and he's got to get that.
What are they? They're one is in Judaism, 2 are in paganism.
But he owns the Judaism head.
Yeah.
He needs to be flipping with that. That needs to be getting those families. As soon as he flips those families, it's gonna be huge for him. And
if he can flip those families,
he can flip artisans by just changing the religion head, right? There's only 2 artisan people who are pagan. It's literally the head and one other family member. And then the riders are only like 4, and I can't remember the exact weighting. I've seen the number breakdown, but it's a lot more for the family head than anything else. So you don't have to flip all of those. To flip that.
It's double for the family head. So he needs to flip the family head and one other.
5 of, not just double. Hold on, I can look that up.
Well, it's changed over the years, but
I mean, I'm taking a risk contradicting you there because I don't actually know. And you do have some degree of expertise.
I don't think I would have made it 5 times. I could have. I imagine I maybe I doubled it, and I maybe it wins ties, something like that.
Yeah, it's in there. It's one of Alcaris's sheets. I just gotta find where it is exactly.
Oh, wow, he's killing the sphere, the zealot sphere.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it because he's not accomplishing anything in that city. That's isolated unit, and he gets the kill. That's nice.
Yeah, so that's a great move. That's I mean, Carthage probably wasn't thinking that this was a possibility.
No.
But you should have moved those 2 spears together. Then it would have been, we wouldn't have risked this. Wow, that's a pretty devastating loss there.
It is, because that's his reinforcements. And I said this last turn, I'd like to see them move as a wave, but they didn't. And he just got one picked off. I wasn't expecting that immediate reaction, but it's a nice punish.
Wow. good for Sion to pick that up. He had that scout there. He may not have seen it otherwise.
Yep.
The scout is not even on the forest right now. That's how much he controls that central plane.
Yeah. That's
Pterodon Stonecutter.
No.
Come on. I mean, the ways he can use a Byron right now are just increasing every turn, right? Like he could reinforce this attack.
I don't hate
he
this.
Just made.
This is local civics. This is local civics for a city that builds decrees. I get it. It's not bad. But
sure.
I hear your, and honestly, he's already moved the Thracians to the point where they're doing their thing. He's probably not thinking that a Byram is that useful in this moment, and it probably isn't that useful at this moment.
Yeah. Maybe I have a sunk cost on my fixation on the Byram at this point.
Yeah, I think there were definitely stages where it would have been incredible, but I think not at this exact moment.
There's just so much stuff you could do with it. It just opens up a lot of possibilities. And, because again, like he could swoop in to kill these guys in the plane. Like I wasn't expecting he'd be able to do that with the units that were attacking the city. But, for sure he could do that with other units. So
you are absolutely
like
right. By the way, it was 2-to-1 on the ratio of the family head to other family members. So, yep. Sorry. So finish the Byram thought.
Oh, like the chariot, like you get the Byram down, then that chariot has huge range of attack. Right. Where are the settlers? The settlers should be up now. Is he out of orders to move them? Yeah, they're both just sitting in their cities.
Is this on?
And again,
that's
another reason. Yeah. Okay. That's another reason to get the Byram up. You send the settlers to Pterodon, and then you just zip them across the lake.
The amount of damage these like 4 units have done that Sion has sent in is it's astronomical. Like, they've killed so many units and tied up Carthage for so long.
Yeah.
And he may think
getting pretty good response here from Carthage.
Well, unless that kills the Paulton walks, because the northern Scythian does not zone of control the horse.
Yeah. But he's whittled the forces down enough that, like, I think now he'll be able to plop enough guys on the middle city that Sion's not going to return there for a while. But I guess we'll see. He got that spear, but it's just always very dangerous to be attacking units behind enemy lines, essentially.
Yeah.
You could be hit by units that just aren't even aware are there. And this Peltist, it does get 3. It does have 3 fatigue.
What happened in Carthage that we saw such a huge bump in standings? The pagan head switch, maybe?
Happiness? Yeah. It was negative, and now it's positive.
Yeah, that's a huge flop and change in standing.
Did you just get lucky, or?
Well, he doesn't have a chancellor at all. He doesn't even have access to it, so he didn't imprison. I don't think imprison changes religion heads anyways. So I think the only way he could have forced that change was like an assassinate. Maybe there was an event that did it, but probably the thing just died.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know where that came from, but that was well needed on Carthage's side for getting his standings up. Again, I'd still like to see him flip them to the religion that he's going to be presumably investing in with monasticism, but
yeah, he does have a plus. He's getting a plus 100 opinion in paganism by completing their ambition and the legacy that the pagans requested.
Okay,
so that's kind of interesting. In fact, it might still be the same leader. I mean, he may have just finally finished those 2 ambitions.
So it is. I mean, we can actually. I don't know. Is the notable events? Does that then trigger on the head of paganism 56? No, it was this turn they became head.
It was
you see it on the notable events on the guy.
Okay. So it must have been a character who disliked him.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of good opinion from ambitions for a religion, let alone pagan religion. Wonder what those ambitions were. I don't remember. I guess we can mouse over them. Am I looking at the right? So that's there's 3 ambitions that completed are control 5 specialists, build a ziggurat, and kill 5 Danes.
Okay.
So probably the pagans, I assume. Yeah. Well, 2 of them. One legacy and 1 ambition.
How did you know they're from pagan? Is there a way, if I hover them, does it say it? Oh, it does say who they boost.
You mouse over the.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So in between with the leader of that religion swapping, and then also finishing 2 of those events, he did get that pagan religion turned around, which is good because he needed it. Because fighting at a massive detriment in power is funny because this is everybody fighting Carthage has to deal with the fact they have stronger units early. But it's funny now that he is fighting somebody else as Carthage fighting stronger units. He's fighting 6 strength Peltis, which is just funny.
Yes.
Ironic, maybe more than funny, I suppose. If we look at Go ahead.
I would say that now the Thracian wave is a little more organized. I don't know if he's been doing this himself, but you see there is sort of a spearhead headed towards Carthage now. Just a weird situation.
It is.
He probably should not overreact to the Thracians. Like just try to control the center of the map, and just keep enough units around to keep those Thracians out of your territory.
You want to see something amusing?
What's that?
Go look at Carthage or Persia's unit list for workers, and then go look at his improvement construction count.
Okay. Let's see. So for workers, Persia has 15 workers?
Yeah. He's building 3 improvements right now. So he's clearly spending his orders on military, taking a break from this. He's just got so many workers out there.
How does he have 15 workers? That's crazy.
Yeah. If you look around, they're just all standing there.
He has 55 total. Wait, no. Wait. Persia has 15 workers and 40 improvements. So he's not even averaging 3 improvements per worker.
Yeah. Yeah, he's over-constructed workers for a minute here.
When did that happen? At some point, he was just weird. Okay, well, look at all those workers in the west of Kermanshah. They've got like 3. I guess those are all repairing, but it's kind of just goofy to see them all like that.
Yep.
I suppose he is building a road network, presumably, which will be, he's starting to do that, which will benefit him greatly. Teradin is now building a slinger, not a Byrene.
He's going to be breaking your heart for the rest of this session, isn't he?
Yes. All right. I got to step away for this to commence, okay?
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. All right, chat. I got a little bit of unattended time to do a little recap. It's been a lot of fun chatting with Soren, but I'm sure we're losing some of the details of what's going on. So let's see if we can figure out kind of the position of this. I think this most recent settle by Sion puts him 1 city ahead, 7 versus 8. Both on 3 laws, with the 4th law coming up out of Carthage right now, and does have elephants, I believe, in the capital, although that doesn't seem to have updated there. Yeah, I guess that's Sion's view as opposed to this. Elephants in the capital, so we'll have access to his law units if he wants them. Fluffy points out that the poet may just be for more and better science, and certainly the science is in Carthage's favor right now. If I break down that exactly, where are we actually at for total science? Science per turn 46 to 32 with 1800 versus 1400. So 400 in tech difference, which is about the equivalent of 2 techs at this tier. You could basically call it steel and spears, for example, are basically 2 techs. He's ahead of Persia from an all-around tech point of view here. This Thracian threat didn't really seem to materialize. Either Sion wasn't quite able to convert this into movement further enough up, or just hasn't committed to that yet. So this is kind of a threat, more of a blocking force right now than it is actually doing any real pressure in here, despite that one that sneaked through. I think these units outperformed what I would have expected them to do in damage. I think Sion ended up losing about 1 Peltis and 2 warriors, I think is what he lost in there, and came out of that killing, I think it's 3 spears, an archer, a militia. I think there was initially a slinger and a warrior in there as well, although the warrior may be upgraded. Quite a big exchange there in favor of Sion, although I really wish he had done some burning while he was in there. Perhaps order count restrictions, perhaps not. But I do like the rest of the state of his empire. He's a little bit behind on these improvements, and he's way behind in specialists. So the upside of Marauder greeting all those specialists is he does have that count 15 to 6 in specialists, and all those specialists are going to be 1 science for the rural and 2 for the urban, at least the first tier specialist anyways. So quite a lot of science investment in that and some resource investment. However, Sion has 1 million workers and he has Persia orders. So if we look right here, this is 29 per turn plus another 4 in improvements, looking at 33 orders a turn coming out of Persia. And if we flip over to Carthage real quick, we're looking at 24, we're looking at 29. So was it 29 to 39 is what I just said? If only I can remember my words in between. 29 to 33. So not quite as good as I was expecting there. Does he does have serfdom. Is this the permanent recruitment of mercenaries? That's 4 orders. And Carthage, I think, ended up with what? 2 orders lost. So it was a bit more of a commitment to using the legitimacy purchasing ability of the Orator. However, it is Persia, and if I remember correctly, Sion is missing a lot of his improvements. He's missing a horses there. He just finished that horses there. We're seeing he's missing this ore, which is kind of a big deal. And he's got 4 more pastures in here unapproved. Goats. Five goat pastures in there, and another goats right outside the borders. So there's a ton of orders to be had from Persia getting their just improvements going that they've been passing. And as we just commented on while Soren was still here, there's 15 plus workers sitting in Sion's empire to get that going. So that should be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm back. I just noticed, I'm loving this, that I'm not sure what I think. Scientific is building a grove in Anshan, southeast of the southeast corner, and
that's great. He needs
I
science.
Mean,
and if he got Grove Tech, like he went for that unique unit, which he's done a lot of work with him, much more in value than I thought he was going to get out of his Polton.
Yeah.
And then he's followed it up with land consolidation, the tech after, and converting this to science. Science is what, if there's any stat that he's behind on, and there is, it's science. So him sorting that is going to get him a very strong position in the game. And as these go ahead.
What I'm sort of laughing about is that, like, I often try to be very careful not to build too many improvements in my cities that are going to be potentially in danger, right? Like, so, if he has these extra workers that could be building stuff, like, I would want him to build improvements in his core cities as opposed to this city, which is, again, like,
what was this? Oh, you're worried about it was a grove in is Ford settled city? Oh, I see. You're talking about the lavender. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that may actually be the safest city on the map for him right now because his opponent doesn't know it exists.
Doesn't even know it exists. Yeah. I mean, so it looks like this looks like the middle city is safe, but I think it was still a successful attack. I mean, the unit exchange is probably about even, but I think it was a successful attack because it distracted Carthage from what's going on in the south for.
Oh, I don't think it was an even exchange. I think Persia came out quite ahead on that. I think he ended up losing 1 warrior and 1 peltist.
Yeah, great, even better then. But it kept Carthage from the south for a long, long time. Although it looks like that is now finally ending.
Okay, why don't I get a list when I hover this? So have you tried this? If you hover specialists and then like hover the player name, you get a list of the specialists. But if I hover military units and hover the player name, I don't get a list of military units killed, which is too bad because I wanted to see what they lost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. That would be nice.
But we are seeing Carthage move south, finally take a look at exploring the giant cork oak forest south of him.
Mm-hmm. He's about to realize that there's a city down there.
Yeah, he's about to find out that Sion has taken everything.
Yeah. I mean, there are units moving south. It's an interesting situation because for a long time this area was completely. I almost wonder if having those 3, presumably he has to move south, so this would have happened one way or another, I guess. I'm just wondering, like, the one thing about the attack is it delayed his settling for quite a while.
Yeah.
Right, the settlers are still slowly moving. Of course, they'd be moving faster if there was a buy ring.
Oh, you're talking Sion again. Sorry, I was watching Carthage because it was their turn.
Yeah, Sion has 1 settler that's maybe 2 turns away from the middle side. Oh, 1 turn away from the middle side. Wow. Oh yeah, he's got
Swift.
He's Swift. Yeah. Right. Where's the other
Swift?
settler?
Remember, this is riders. Both of them are riders, so harvesting horses will eventually trigger the event that gives you Swift on that. So
yeah.
And he is finally getting these pearls online, like all of them, all at once, which is great because the limiting factor for Sion's expansion here, outside of building the settlers, is going to be the fact that he's allied to the Thracians. So he needs gold. Gold is going to be how he gets those sites back. So, and
how am I blanking on the other settler? Where is that guy?
You should be able to find it in the unit list again. So if we go unit list and then just right-click civilian, there's only 1 settler on the map, so they're probably settled.
Oh, he settled. Did he finally settle that site up in the north
with the goats?
Huh.
Yeah,
I would have rather seen him use that settler to get those Thracian sites. Like you never know how long.
I don't know. Like I think the fact that he's Persia and he's short on food and there's 6 goats in that city is pretty tempting for me.
I mean, it's an awesome site for sure.
Yeah.
It's just that like he's had the ability to settle these Thracian sites, which would be huge for a long time, and Carthage is starting to move into that territory, which is, I mean, they have to eventually. Like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So
I do like seeing. I mean, we're back to Sion's turn now. A couple things are happening here. He just failed two legacies. I was kind of interested to see what the impact would have, and it did tank his Rider family in particular. So he takes the double legitimacy hit from that. But I do think finishing your ambitions is great, and not accepting ambitions you can't take is better than even that in some level. But if you have to let them go, you have to let them go. It's fine. Don't ruin your game because you have to build 6 treasures at a point where you want to be building military units. So I do like that decision on some level. And there's some interesting stuff happening here that I think is going to do favors for Sion in the very near term, which is he has basically begun investing in his road network. So we're seeing that connect. I kind of would like that Byram right now as well. I think it'd actually be faster settling, as you pointed out earlier, but he's got the middle settled down now. He did find the gold to settle behind that, I guess. And that's a quadruple grove site when he has the tech for that. So he's clearly been planning his science comeback via groves for a while now with his tech path, and this is going to facilitate that. And as he roads this, he doesn't have exploration yet. Neither player has gone into that part of the tech tree, so he doesn't have river movement yet. But it doesn't take a whole lot of roads or boats to connect a pretty quick, rapid response, especially for horse units, from east to west all the way across. If you look, there's a giant river for a big chunk of that, not particularly east-west, but if you get that other Thracian site, the middle one, the missing one between them settled, and then road, that's not that far anymore. So
that's why I wanted to move that settler east, because you had 2 settlers, and these are just 2 sites. To get these 2 sites, you got this great lineup. I really want to see him build a pasture on those goats north of the southern city, the middle city, so he can build a specialist on it as soon as possible and grab those pearls, not necessarily just for the pearls, but for the water movement.
Sorry, which site was this?
Darban, the new city, middle city.
New middle city. Oh, I see. You're talking sheep specialist here.
Oh, sorry,
pearls
sheep,
in the middle, so he can start getting water access without needing boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe even
or maybe
he's got a million workers. He can just slam. He can put a polis down or 2.
Actually, what would be even faster is to build some sort of urban site on the hill southwest of the sheep.
Yeah,
because that'll get one more tile.
That was my thought too.
And then that will get the water tile, which will grab both of the pearls ones. So that's even better.
Single hand.
And he's got
but we are seeing Carthage finally realize the danger of not having the middle city eroded. So we are seeing a road extend out that way. The elephant is starting to clear these camps, and looks like Carthage has a game plan again of where to expand. But he is quite a bit behind on cities now, 9-7. And as we know,
it's going to get worse quicker.
Yes, Sion's in a much better position to continue expanding like that, especially if
he's building another settler. Yeah, he's got another settler out in 2 turns, and he's got 4 Thracian sites he can settle in the middle. I mean, if he gets these 5 Thracian sites, and is able to get his units there, which he should be able to if he gets the buy range, and he'll have an easy way to reinforce them. I mean, Carthage is going to be in a very difficult position.
This containment strategy has worked pretty well for Sion as a whole, and it's
the weird part about it is like he bought those units early, but it feels like Carthage wasn't even trying to expand in that area. Like Carthage was just ignoring the south. I'm not sure what the strategy was there. Has Carthage met the Gauls yet?
I don't believe so. I don't think he's done any further scouting south than he has before. And if I check the mini map, I believe he's not seen that city yet. No, so he still doesn't know about Sion's surprise city over there.
Doesn't know about the city. Doesn't know about the Gauls. Crazy. I guess he can buy those Gauls soon.
And again, his build queues always confuse me. I mean, this is like the 3rd rancher that Artisan City has built. It is the 3rd rancher that this artisan northern city is building. These are expensive specialists. I guess he got Judaism out of something here, but man.
I mean, he's playing for the long game science-wise. I mean, he is what, 51 science to 35.
There's about 400 science ahead. So basically, the tech equivalent of steel and spears was basically, or axes and spears rather, was basically the tech equivalent he's ahead right now. But that's going to disappear with land consolidation, with that many of groves that Sion has access to. That's going to be a lot of science very quickly. So.
So you got 4 groves in this new city in the middle. Three groves. I mean, at some point you just can't compete with that many more cities.
No.
This is actually a pretty city-dense map for its size.
It does seem like there's quite a lot.
So, like a player with a strong core could actually compete with a larger empire, I think. But the thing, like this lake in the middle, makes that much more difficult. Because imagine this lake was not here, then that forward city, like if Carthage really wanted to, Carthage could take that city.
Oh,
right?
I see, like just flexing south. I mean, he has access to boats too. Maybe we will see the Byrene play out of Carthage and not out of Persia.
Yeah.
Nothing stopping
in
him
the
from
lake
just building
or
one there.
in the lake or along the coast.
In the lake, if you want to flex on that that middle city.
Well, that's another reason to get a Byrene up. Like if you just get like get 2 Byrenes up, then it's basically impossible to get the lake back. Yep. So that's another reason not to delay getting a Byrene up.
Yep.
Because for sure the same is possible. Like Scientific's Darband is in very bad shape if suddenly you can have if Carthage can start moving the units there.
Want to see something cool? I think Sion is considering a second tribal alliance. He's currently truce with the
you can't have a
you can't
have a second tribal. No, you can only have one tribal alliance.
I guess he's not considering that then. But he's a truce with these guys, so they're at least not bothering him at the moment, which lets him do what he wants here.
Speaking of which, do you notice what's on its way to Carthage right now?
I hadn't. What is that?
Do you see all those Scythians? They're all raiding Carthage. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, these are the start of a tribal raid. I see.
Yeah,
is
like
it the event
an invasion or a tribal raid or something?
Where are they coming from? They're coming from the bottom
left? Southwest.
They've been transferring across the map. I didn't realize they went as far as that. That's hilarious. That is a long.
Yeah, that's why I think it might be an invasion. I can't quite remember how the rules work. I mean, these are things that are triggered usually by events, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. Well, no. I mean, let's think this through. Well, okay, no.
I'm gonna
Scientific
have to take a
is
quick
not
break here. I'll be back in a minute,
peace
so maybe you tell that to chat, and I'll come back and hear the conclusion.
Okay.
All right, back in a
So
second.
the rule is that Persia is at truce with the Scythians, not peace. So because of that, if the Scythians were doing a normal raid, they would be raiding Persia because Persia is much closer. But so I'm assuming this was some sort of event that triggered a tribal invasion, which is why the Scythians are going this far across the map. And that's going to that's going to make things a lot more difficult for Carthage because that now is the time when Carthage is ready to start pushing south. They're going to take that barbarian site, and presumably soon they're going to realize that Scientific is founding cities down there. But these Scythian units, which are not going to attack Scientific, are going to only just be slowing things down for Carthage. But I really want to see Scientific get a site up on that Thracian site, between these two cities soon, and then start just hardening that wall there. It basically gives Carthage two sites to expand to, the barbarian site and the Gauls, and then just try to, hold the rest of the map. So it seems like basically the rest of Scientific's territory is basically safe. So all you have to do is control the lake and then just ferry your units around wherever they're needed. Yeah. All right. See more groves going up. Scientific is building 2 groves, which is great. 3 groves in Darband. I mean, that's great. But again, if he was building some sort of urban building north of his city, he'd be able to get those pearls, which would be creating, which would be an instant source of culture for Darband, which is good. But more importantly, starts getting some of this water control that he needs. Wow, this Anshan is like a really well-developed city. He's such a forward settle. Although I don't like, why is he building a scout there? I mean, he could build a settler there, save himself a ton of orders. I mean, that's a pretty good growth city. Like a settler is only 8 turns.
I think he needs vision. He lost his scouts earlier, right? So
yeah, his vision is pretty good because he's got tribal units all over the place.
Yeah, but he probably wants to keep an eye on that squad that elephant that he can see. He probably wants to know how much past that, what does he have to do about it, get some good sight. There's great forest cover, so you're going to be able to hide the scout forever, that kind of thing.
I mean, scouts are great, but like a settler, you could have a city up, as soon as it's ready, right? Yep. I just really want to see a settler there.
Yeah, I would have liked that earlier too. Like the 2 workers, his 3 workers, that city is built seems excessive to me. 3 workers and there's 3 total improvements in that city, or 4.
Yeah. Yes. So what would you do if you were in Marauders? situation right now, because it kind of feels like this is Siontific's
to
game to lose at this point.
Yeah, I'm not quite as far down that path as you are, because I think Sion is quite overextended. But I would I'd stop these low value specialist spam. We have a fisher, a trapper, a rancher, and a master, not apprentice, master officer coming up from Marauder. That's got to stop. These have to be units right now. You know, like you need to be aware of the fact that you're behind on city count. You need to be fixing that. So this is a combination of settlers and units right now to clear, to protect the cities, and to get the settlements down. So I don't understand this heavy investment in ranchers and trappers. It's kind of killing me, in fact. Like they're so every one of these are 60 civic specialists, right? So they're the more expensive version of the settler, the specialists, and they take forever to build in cities that don't have boosts to civics. And these are artisan Carthage cities, so they have no civics boost at all. So like, it's crazy to me. That's so much of your build queue time. And when you're down in cities, your build queues are more valuable, not less valuable, because you have less of them compared to your opponent. So inefficient specialist is painful to me to watch here. So I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a tech planning. If I look at specifically what he's teching for right now, monasticism is not a military tech. It doesn't really open any military techs up either. So what are we likely to see after that he could be pushing for with all these specialists? I don't even know. And they're not even particularly efficient. So yeah, don't like that.
I mean, I think the big thing here, like it's almost impossible for us to understand Marauder's mindset right now, because Marauder has not met the Gauls and still does not know that city exists.
Yeah.
And so his idea of the current state of the game is just so different from what we can see. But like it's getting so late in the game that there's kind of almost no excuse for, like, we're on turn 61 and he's never met the Gauls, who are one of the like 5 or 6 closest city sites to his capital, right?
Like he's gonna meet them in like a turn or two when he kills his barb camp, right?
Yeah. As soon as when he settles that camp, then he'll presumably meet the Gauls and he'll see that there's a city there, and he'll be like, oh wow, there's a lot going on here that I did not know about.
Yeah, you can trace this back to his scouting, right? He had 2 scouts as with a Rider family, but he stuck them both to spy on Persia instead of one.
Yeah, he's about to lose. His scout just became visible in the northwest. So, wow, and he's Johnny on the spot there. He moved immediately before us.
Yeah.
So good for him there. But yeah, like it's really hard to quantify the value of scouting, but this is a pretty good example of his lack of knowledge of how at risk he is in the south is bad. But the thing is, by turn 60, he must be aware that Siontific is going to have something in the south, right? Like he just hasn't been, he has no idea of like what's going on down there.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things there, because again, like you look at his build queue and there's 0 military units and 1 settler, and it's all otherwise specialists. And we're seeing some really cool things here. Like Sion has portcullis done. This is an agent network that's been inserted by the scout that's standing there with the 10-year timer over them. So not only will the scout be invisible for ages standing there, but now Sion's gonna start having perfect information on what Carthage is doing. And if he sees a couple more cities, he's gonna start seeing that Carthage isn't doing anything. He's building low efficiency specialists. So this encapsulation strategy is gonna get easier to progress with, because you can be greedier with it. And the other thing is, Sion has talked I've cast a lot of these with him now. He talks fondly of all the games where he ever accompanies tribal raids to attack players. And there's a big tribal raid walking by his borders. There's no way that Sion is going to miss this happening. So he is going to be thinking about how much he loves that, and thinking about accompanying that to do some damage to Carthage. And if this all breaks at the same time, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the wrinkle there, of course, is that Carthage can buy these raiders as they come through, but still, like it's not good news for Carthage. I mean, to me, Carthage is one path to victory, which needs to go heavy military and take that city to the south.
Yeah, he has to break out before he gets fully encircled, but he's not.
Yeah, he's got to take. I mean, that was a very forward settle, and there's a lot of units there, so it will not be an easy city to take. But what other choice do you have? I don't see any path to victory. Just take a city, but he doesn't even know the city exists.
Looks like an event maceman for him. That will help a little bit. It's a military unit. I agree. Like, I mean, if his tech path was different, right? Like, Sion's done a bit of a bizarre tech path, in my opinion, but it's still it's a tech path that makes sense with the stuff he's doing, right? Like, he needs to get back in science. He's gone for both portcullis and these groves, and both of those are going to be a big catapult to his science here. Carthage's tech path makes less sense to me. I don't know what monasticism really does for him here that fixes the major problems his empire is running into, and a lot of that is expansion right now. If this were like another tier of military tech, maybe this heavy investment in officers and mines in the background would make some sense to me, because then he's basically saying, I'm going to hit this tech timing on another military tech that's really important, and that's going to break this open for me. But I don't see it yet. I mean, I guess next round he may, if I'm still on the right, I could just jump as I was doing it, of course. I think he may have access to Maceman, but I'm not sure that is the tech that it really does. It's not quite as transformative as something like a ballista, for example, or onagers or horse units of some sort.
Yeah.
So I don't really think his monasticism pickup here makes a lot of sense to me.
I mean, the science is going to be in great shape. I'm just trying to figure out if there's some path to get a science advantage that's going to help him win this game, as opposed to lose it slowly, which is the current rate.
I'm not even sure his science is in great shape. He's one science behind Persia right now. Like
he is?
Yeah.
How did Persia got just
not accumulated, but per turn right now.
Okay, last time I looked, Carthage was ahead by like 15.
Yeah, this is the Grove payoff. He's finishing Groves.
Oh, the Groves, yeah, yep, that's it. I mean, we saw them come. He was very quick to get Groves, which is a great move.
And Carthage is only 400 science ahead. That again is that is 2 tier 2 techs, which is a lot in the early game. But when it's turned 63, 62, it's getting less of a lot, you know.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out he's going heavy into specialists, and that's the thing he's going to get out of specialists. I mean, it's a long-term play. Yeah, it's just like
But it's even wrong ones. These are urban specialists we're seeing heavy from him. Urban specialists are more about the resource production that comes with them than necessarily the science, because otherwise you'd be doing urban specialists. So I don't get it. I don't get that at all.
Yeah.
So perhaps just a mistake, or perhaps some strategy that will be revealed as he gets around to showing us what it is he's doing, because I don't understand that. And no perfect information, but as Alchris points out in chat, pointed out quite a while ago, that the city count will be indicative of something. I mean, he may be thinking it's a longer game, right? He may see nine cities on Persia, just his 7, thinking that Persia is just continuing to expand on his side of the map.
The question is where are those cities? He's assuming they're in the southwest, and they are not at all. So, like, the city count is, I think, what Marauder would expect at this point, considering that he's kind of been bottled up a little bit. So it's not, the city count itself is not in any way shocking. So.
And interestingly, normally one of the problems, I mentioned this at the beginning of the game, is that if you expand horizontal on a map this vertical, you'll get travel rated nonstop, and it's a big drain on your orders. But Persia is pieced with every single tribe right now, and allied with one of them, so they will never raid him. Tribal raids don't happen to you. Every tribal raid right now is headed to Carthage for the rest of the game until one of these alliances is broken, one of these pieces is broken.
You were away when I was talking it over, I think, but like that Scythian raid actually started when while he was still at truce with the Scythians, so he kind of got lucky there. And that's why I'm thinking it's an event as opposed to like a natural raid. But now that he's at peace, like he's good. Like he wants to actually keep those tribes on the board and just let all those units go towards Carthage.
Yep.
I mean, if we just look at the map, like in that between Darband and Anshan, I mean, there's just so many tribal units on the map. It's crazy.
And 99% of the games that I play in, like, I'd be at war with every one of these tribes right now. So I'd be having to, if I had left them like in this state, I'd be having to fight all of these things simultaneously. The fact that they just are totally neutral or allied with Sion is a funny spot here, because this means this is all hostile to Carthage. And even if they aren't very strong and they don't coordinate well, it's still that many units you have to move around, path around. They're going to do chip damage here. It's going to make it very difficult for him to do anything in that area.
So I don't know if you know about this change, but if you mouse over like the Amazon Cavalry, you'll see it has a tag called Organized Tribal Unit.
Sorry, so which this is on Sion's view. Which one? Just any of them?
The ones that are raiding are on their way. And what that means is, so that's why I think it was an invasion. I believe that's how it works.
Sorry, I'm on an. Oh, I see. It says it on when I hover the actual icon, I get Organized Tribal Unit beneath it. Okay, tell me what that does.
So that's a slightly different AI for the tribal units, where they basically more like they move together. They sort of use a little bit of more of the human AI as opposed to the tribal AI. I mean, it's a lot of subtle
differences. When you say human, you mean the nation AI?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you can't like kite them as much or kind of do some of the other cheesy stuff you can do with the tribal units. So it's a more dangerous threat. Okay, he's moved. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, he's finally moved some units down. He still doesn't. I think he still can't see the city. He must be like one tile away with the way the elephant moved and the way that
elite warlord moved, but soon, I mean, he'll see a city come up on that Thracian site in probably 2 turns, the one he can still see right now.
Yep.
And then he will see the other city, and he will finally know the situation he's in.
Yeah, and will we see a response though? What I want to see is, at the very
Switch
least,
to military.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do it instantly, he doesn't clear all of his, maybe he lets his specialists finish because they're 8-turn builds and he's put 6 into them, so be it. But like, no more of these these rural specialists doing nothing, rather, you know?
Yeah. Maybe not the Jewish disciple. Maybe, you know, something else.
Yeah. I mean, that one's, one's probably my least, that's probably the least annoying one for me, because at least that is, he spreads that once, and that's his city there. He spreads it to, I assume he's going to spread it to Meleth, where he's invested all the ranchers, so he has huge growth. And then he can spread his religion cheaply from more disciples from Meleth instead. But
well, I'm thinking more about that's the city that's closest to the south, right? Like,
yes.
That's why I want to see military units down there. Like, those other cities are not connected. I guess there is sort of a road now, but it's a long way for them to go. I guess there is like a road river network now that is not.
But he still doesn't have exploration, so neutral rivers are not movement boosts for him yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too many rivers in neutral territory that would make a difference for him at this point. So.
I mean,
I only see like one tile.
The big ones for me is coming down.
Oh, going south. Yeah. The ones like actually south of the southern cities. That would be absolutely nice to have. Although I guess once he settles that barbarian site, I think he'll pretty much clean up all those. Not quite sure. It'll be close. It won't be long until he gets that in this territory.
Yep. I did check there was a question about the agent. Agent's putting out 4 or 5 science per turn out of Carthago. Carthago's not making a ton of science right now, so. Oh, look at that!
Killed the elephant.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. That's
that scout you didn't like.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is wow. That is rough.
Yep. Surprise.
Value of scouting, folks. Value of scouting.
Yep. And again, like double it here, right? I mean, we've been talking this entire time about Marauder not having scouted south and not knowing about the situation of the city. But in addition to that, we see the scout now paying off for a military move in addition to the earlier greed for the
fair enough. I critiqued the scout, but it paid off. I mean, Marauders had those 2 scouts for the whole game, which is great. It's great to be able to see your opponent, but you really need to know what's going on your own borders, right? So, like, I mean, sometimes you just want to get a military unit out there. You don't need to use a scout. Just get the unit out there so you can see what's going on. Because Marauder just got jumped. Still does not know there's a city down.
Look at Sion's site too. If you flip to Sion's side of the view, look at his coverage of where the Carthage military units are right now in this area. It's literally perfect. Yeah, he sees everything. Every single tile.
And if you switch back to Marauder,
nothing.
I mean,
it's darkness. It's darkness and scary units popping out of the fog hitting you.
Yes, the mix of random units and Yeah. He has no idea how hard it's going to be to take these sites. He probably just thinks they're tribal sites. He doesn't know how many units are there. And now he's probably going to be even double, thinking twice about settling there, or he should be. I mean.
Well, he can't be thinking twice about it. He's got nowhere else to settle. Everything else is covered.
Yeah.
He can't go west and he can't go north, so he has to go south.
Yeah, I mean, he has no choice. Yeah, he has no choice but to settle. If he loses that city, well, at that point, he's essentially lost the game. But this must be scary, obviously.
Should be. He's backed himself into a corner with this specialist spam as opposed to units here. So at the very least right now, I want to see he's finished 2 specialists this turn. I really would like to see some units come out of his cities right now because he needs them.
Be interested to see if he starts buying some Thracians now, because it feels like, it's time to take some emergency measures. So, like, for example, that his Nomad Warlord is fighting a Scythian, the Amazon Cavalry. Like, buy that Thracian on the other side, right?
Can he though? I mean, they're expensive for him. They're 875 to pick up, 1,000 on the Thracians because of the level. He can't buy those. He's only sitting. I mean, he's gonna buy one here somewhere. He just spent his money somewhere. I'm not sure where it went.
You could buy the cavalry itself for 875. Yeah. So just buy the cavalry, buy the Scythian. Yeah, the price is jacked up because of the alliance. Yeah. Which is appropriate.
Yeah. And again, this is the cost. I think is he tile buying? Is that what this worker is up north doing? Does he have colonies right now? He does have colonies. Okay, so that's where his money just went. So Carthage, in the meantime, has switched off serfdom, switched 2 colonies, and is buying tiles to finish their coastal network. So I wonder where his money just went. But if you look, you can see in his capital the borders being extended up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the cost of artisans over traders. Is you lack the funds to do a lot of things. So the payoff for artisans, there's payoffs for it, but you got to make that work. And right now, he's feeling the lack of income off the traders.
I mean, he's got the judge, so he's gonna be able to switch back to serfdom. So it's unusual, but like a reasonable choice in the situation.
Yeah, but it's a money cost of the purchasing of tiles that I was getting at because he doesn't have any money to buy anything.
Yeah. These units are too expensive for it to be a real issue. Probably Siontific is more afraid of him buying units than he needs to be, considering how expensive it's going to be.
Yeah.
But at any rate, the tribal city will go down next turn, and then, he'll be aware. Although,
I think I'd much rather the settler in the capital. Sure, I mean he's been building it for a while. I'd rather see him slam his fourth law, start building elephants out of his capital. Oh, but he's not set up. He doesn't have a stronghold or garrison. He doesn't have garrison in there. He's got a judge, but he doesn't have a garrison, so he can't even build elephants, even though he got his fourth law. He needs units now.
Yeah, I was talking about the settler, the Siontific settler. He's about to settle on that other Thracian camp, which will be in view.
Can we see how much it costs to do that somewhere, like through his interface?
Sure. Click on the unit. Oh, I probably need to switch to Siontific. I mean, at this point, it shouldn't necessarily be a surprise that he's settling there. Found city 1100.
Wait, sorry, where are you seeing that in the interface? So I'm on Sion. I'm clicking on that settler. I don't see a found city.
Click on the settler. See, it says found city.
No, I have upgrade force march and then the 3 type. Oh, I see. If I click on one of the types, it was found. Okay, I got you. So it's 1100, 1125. Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough for Sion too, but Sion can sell some resources there, and there's so many other units over here. Like, he will get that. His diplomat is still okay. 49, no illnesses. Versus that
also it's been pretty nice for Siontific that he's only had 2 leaders the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 3 for the other one. It was just that one extra death, but yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the things again, Elkers and I haven't sat down to do this, and who knows exactly how many things will end up being changed. But I do kind of like the idea of maybe mandating that we start with a slightly older leader to kind of get more leader cycling through it. We'll see, because it's like the way the games last. If you have an 18-year-old or a 16-year-old start, you tend to only get about 2 leaders, 3 maybe.
Yeah, I guess also just the idea that like one player might have a character last for 60 turns and one might have one going for 20.
Yeah, always devastating.
Whereas if they both start age 50, neither of them could have like a character go for.
And maybe we can finally see some Axum do something. That'd be nice. Get some Axum in the competitive scene. Those Stellies in play. All right, did we see it? So I've been I switched over to Sion when you were talking about the settler because I wanted to look. But if I switch back to the last couple seconds of Carthage, we do see some military units coming out. An axe out of Utica, a boat out of Meleth, 10-turn Byreme. Hurts.
Wait, is the Byreme up?
I mean, it's coming out of Meleth, out of Carthage. So kind of. It's not in your lake that you want, and it's not out of Persia.
It's in the north. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's not really vulnerable there either. Actually, he has a reasonable number of units in the north, so I'm not sure what that Byreme is for necessarily. I mean, I love naval units, but it doesn't seem like this is going to be the answer for Marauder. I mean, I assume he's going to be sending it around clockwise to kind of help settle the coast in the southeast. I mean, it's just not bad, not horrible. I mean, any unit that's
going to be a while before it gets there, and it's not going to be able to fight on land right now. So I don't love it. I think if you want that boat, I guess he's not that. The other downside, I forgot. He's Carthage. He gets 200 civics every time he settles a city, and you know what he hasn't done in like a million turns to settle a city. So he doesn't have any extra Carthage.
Yeah.
So that sucks. No civics.
I mean, anything that's a 10-turn build at this point is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is why these 8-turn trappers are killing me. Like, if 10-turn military builds are like, that's too long to wait. What about 8-turn trappers? We're going to get 1 science in 8 turns, and that's going to be our payoff? I don't know, man.
Okay. Trenton is idle. This is his chance to build a Byreme.
But look at...
And he did it! Right when I said it.
Nice.
Yeah, he just did it.
Look at this play by Sion, though, in the front, in this choke. I love this. Talk about encapsulation. He's building a fort in front of those units. Presumably he's going to plant a unit there. His scouts blocking. This is just like, no, you don't get to reinforce right now. I don't know if it will stop the mace, but it's going to...
Whoa.
It's cool.
Okay. Wow. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. My mind is blown here. And can he just kill the worker? What's even going on here?
He can. It'll take him a turn. I think I would like to see one more. And all he's trying to do here is because again he has perfect sight, so he knows there's no other units in range to help with this, right?
Oh, he's trying to settle that. He's trying to settle that barbarian camp. Man, he is so greedy.
Well, this completes the encapsulation he's been setting up for all game. You know, he didn't get punished for his other city.
Psychologically, we may see a GG here if he sells that site. I mean, that's very close to your capital.
Yeah.
How often do we see someone settle a site that borders the enemy capital?
Never. We never. Well, hold on, that's not true. Oro did it to Fluffy.
Okay.
But mostly never.
Oh well, right, in that crazy game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, does he? Like the worker is there just to slow. I mean, I don't.
And it doesn't. There's not enough damage to kill it with those 2 units. There's only 2 tiles that attack it, and there's no range units. And there's no range units in range, and there's no range units in the entire empire, so he can't do anything.
But I mean, he can just kill the worker, right?
No,
like, why even build the fort? He can't kill the worker.
He can with that forced march of the militia. Let him do it. But the axe plus the spear did not. Excuse me, the axe plus the mace did not have the damage to kill the thing. So why is he doing it? Because if he doesn't kill it immediately and he gets a unit on top of it, he might actually finish the fort, and then it really is a choke point. And what's the investment? The investment was he's always going to put the worker there. So the investment is only the stone on the fort, which really isn't that big of a deal.
Do you get the stone back when the worker's killed? I don't remember.
I don't recall. I think no, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But even then, like if a different series of events happens, like these units here don't attack the worker, but instead attack these peltists, then he gets the fort finished, right? So the only thing I would have liked to have seen on that would have liked to have seen a unit immediately occupy the same tile as the worker.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything right now. This is a very tight situation. Every single turn here matters a huge amount. He will be able to kill the slinger. It's currently whose turn? It's Marauder's turn. Is Marauder out of orders?
He's at 10 right now.
Okay. Can he prevent that slinger from being killed? I don't. Okay, move the slinger
looks
off.
Like he's rotating. Yeah.
Is he going to move the axe down? Can the axe?
Yeah, this is the force march. He's just activated.
Force march. Okay.
I mean, one more unit gets that, right? Because they do 16 damage between them to him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how many other units he has around. So presumably he can still settle. That's just a very aggressive settle. I mean, when your enemy has more units than you do around the city site, man.
Yeah, it may not pay off though, and all that happens is he lost that worker, spent some orders trying this. He forced a bunch of reactions out of Carthage. He can always move back to the Thracian site and settle that shortly, right? I'm not fussed about it.
I guess my question is, should he keep going? I mean, I think what he did so far is fine. The question is, should he stop now and retreat? Yeah. Okay.
You're talking Sion here? I mean, I got to go look at his forces around
here.
Talking
about Psionic here. Yeah, okay. So Marauder reacted appropriately, and it's time to not be totally crazy and just take the Thracian site.
That's what I think. Where the hell are these Scythians going? So they're raiding like the center site, I guess. So unfortunately they're not continuing to go east.
I think what happens, there were probably some times when those 2 tiles, that pass is only 2 tiles wide, right?
Yeah.
So there were probably some times when there were 2 units on it, and essentially what the AI is doing is finding, and if it can't find a path, it has to choose the other path. So there were probably some
tribal invasion here to Carthago, and it's trying to reach Carthago?
Yes. If you mouse over the unit, you see it's raiding Carthage. Oh, it says, okay, Carthage or Carthago. It just says Carthage. But either way, any of the cities it wants to reach, it has to go through that pass. Yeah, okay. So I think there were times when the pass was blocked or zone locked or whatever. So essentially it's just having to go the long way around.
Gotcha.
So he has Marauder has no idea this is saving him, but he's get a little bit of a reprieve here because of zone control issues.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable for Sion to attempt what he just did there. He got countered. Marauder responded appropriately, but if Marauder had not responded appropriately, Sion might have stolen this city. And this city is the slim line of Carthage's way back into this has got to start here.
Even if he had lost that city, see, the thing I think I like about it, and now I was even wondering if you should still double down on it, is if he gets that city down, it forces Carthage to take whatever it is, 4 or 5 turns to get to capture that city.
Yeah.
Which is just a huge amount of delay, right? And it also, like Carthago is building a settler. That settler is now useless if he's able to settle that site. If if Siontific is able to settle that site, you might as well turn that settler into a worker, right? So yeah, I mean it's Yeah, it was a good play if it worked out. It was definitely worth the chance, and I even see an argument for trying to still get that city down.
Yeah, I can't see anything else that he can reinforce it with really that works right now. These are fairly unupgraded travel units. One of them is I think strength 5, and the other 2 are still strength 3. So I don't think those are gonna actually slow anything down. So I don't think he has any other units to throw in there, and he has to take the city site to get the settle off, right? So I think he's better off pulling his 6 strength range units that get these have ranger on them too, right? Because that's the right race for that. So I think they're probably a little bit more valuable than just throwing away here for a little bit more time, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he'd have to march 2 range units, which is these. Oh well, no, there's one that will hit for 3.
Well,
so he could do a forced march.
Oh, you're saying he still has a chance? I didn't even check the.
Yeah, the two what are they? Gaistas, whatever those are, can hit for 16 damage. He's going for it. So he can knock it down to 3, and then he has one that will hit. He has one Marauder or Peltist. He has a Peltist.
No, it's
that
one
that can march.
Oh,
he has a warrior.
Sweet.
Okay, sure. All right, he's going for it. Wow.
If he can kill that unit, then yeah, go for it. I didn't. For some reason, I wasn't tracking.
Oh my gosh!
Force march into that. Yeah, that is.
You do not see this very often.
No.
I mean, that was probably, and I'm sure he was not thinking that was where that settler was going to end up when he originally started the long trek from his homeland all the way over here. I mean, just from I think he can hold it. He's got a ton of units. I mean, the thing he needs to worry about is them buying the Thracians.
Another force march, the second force march to get in. I love this. I love blocking the tiles around the Peltist or the whatever it is, the Gaisada. How do I say this word? Gaisada?
Yes, I don't know. Something.
Okay.
Something.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Whatever that unit is, I love that he's reducing the tiles because they're pretty hard to kill in these forests. These ranger.
Yeah, they have ranger. I mean, this is a easy site to hold because of the trees. And probably, I mean, I don't know. Marauder could definitely take the city, but the idea that you're fighting to take a city that's adjacent to your capital is pretty nuts.
Time to rush that buy room, by the way. The one you've been talking about all game earlier. It's now time to do it because he's got a great spot in there. He just needs to make his reinforcement lines closer.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think he has the civic. He does have the civics now to rush the buy room. He must have picked up some civics somewhere.
And he wants to.
He didn't last time I checked.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably an event. I rarely track the events like that, so it quite possibly did. I don't think we saw a civics card. We're not in the right part of the tech tree for that, right? It doesn't have sovereignty, no. So it wasn't a civics card. One more turn from Sion is what he says. But I'd love to see a rush on that Byrame, and then it can swap the city, which has the three stonecutters in it. Could start going back to building decrees, because the only thing he needs to do now is get his units that are all standing around doing nothing and his back lines to the front line and finish that encapsulation of Marauder, and then choke him out, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the question is kind of like, just exactly how aggressive should you be? He's been very aggressive. He hasn't changed on that, and so far that's worked out very well. I mean, generally, like, old world favors aggression.
Yeah.
Right. Make your opponent respond. Make them not have safe back lines. So, but I think Carthage is paying the price by not building military. 15, 20 turns ago, could have started military in all their cities.
Yeah, it's just a truism of competitive multiplayer games. You can do what your opponent lets you do, let you get away with. And if your opponent just builds ranchers, well, you can do a lot. Because your opponent doesn't have any fucking board presence, and that's what's happening in this game. Yeah, and he should have known that there was a city down here and that there was a potential military presence. And even without the scouts, I think he should have been aware at this point that there was probably danger in this area, because the game was just what are we at? We're on turn 65. Okay, he's rushing an Axeman and Leptis. I know, but talk about too little, too late, right? Yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean, I think he's pretty close to maces, so maybe the military tech that we've been talking about. No, he's going compo. I thought did he not have maces? He has maces available, but he's going compo. I don't think archers help him here. Maybe he's thinking ballista card, but I mean, he's got tons of iron. He's got the axes already in play. He's got tons of training. Like, he needs something now. I don't think he wants. I mean, I guess it's a longer tech Maceman compared to compo, like, quite a bit, but still, I don't know. If I'm Carthage here, I'm a bit spooked by my position, because I feel like I'm probably
towing
Carthage
the line.
Carthage used some of their attacks to kill the scout, which,
yep.
you know.
I mean, well, he has no range units, right? Maybe
Sign
the other
of,
part
yeah,
of archers is he's got to go through every melee that Sion throws in front of him.
Yeah, it's not just those troops are in forests. Half these attacks are across rivers.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, we were debating about whether he should keep founding that city, keep aiming to found that city, and it was like, wow, what a great move.
Yeah,
Siontific to do that.
I think for me it was a no if you couldn't get there this turn. I thought you were asking about the commitment of more troops to that area, and I thought he was not going to be able to do that. But with the forced marches, which I wasn't tracking on, being able to take that city site, I absolutely think it's the right move. It gives him home borders over here. It slows Carthage down for this. Right now, there's just not enough tiles for that player to attack into. These 6 strength units, these barbs, these 6 strength tribal units are still just crushing it at turn 65. It's wild.
The thing about this position, which is why it's always great to be like fighting on the opponent's side of the board, that even if he had founded that city and lost it, it still would have been the right move, which is a very rare thing to say, right? And so, it was just a question of whether he could get it down that turn, and it was rough game for Carthage right now.
Yep. Well, I gotta say, Soren, this has been a fun one to watch, and hopefully a fun one for you as well, because I've been enjoying commentating this one. It's been a blast.
Yeah, this has been a really interesting, enjoyable game. A lot of I mean, geez, what are we games? Maybe the 60th game of the tournament, something like that. And we're seeing stuff in this game that we haven't seen in any other game yet. So that's really neat.
I've been enjoying that. I gotta say, this tournament has been the highlight of the season for me in terms of gaming. Like, it's just been I've been looking forward to the weekends every weekend for the last 2 months of watching this or whatever it's been at this point. So it's been a blast.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's great to hear. I mean, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's nice how community driven it is, like we've helped out where we can, like, we post about it and stuff like that, but this is really a community event. And we really appreciate, the work everyone's put into it, because it's a ton of work to organize this stuff. It's not something that you can force. It only happens if the players really want to do something like this. So,
and Algorith with his daily posts, and they're time stamped and localized for everybody to tune into it, and then the updating of all the everyone commentating, watching, and making the videos for it. All this has been super cool, and I like the mix of the overlap of community and company here in a sense, right? Because we're seeing Fluffy being one of the competitors in the game is really fun for me. It's like both a player and a community member, or rather a Mohawk employee and also a community member at the same time for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, super
I'd say pretty good response from Marauder here. Yes, Espadana. I mean, this is it. This is all he's got to double down. What else can you do at this point? You're fighting for your life. You have to take the city.
Yep.
And I'm trying to let me switch back over to Siontific. I wonder if Siontific is just gonna be very gun shy about moving in those Thracians, because he's got those units there. They could easily participate, but I bet he's gun shy about them getting recruited, because that happened to him once before. But how much would it cost? It would cost
oodles, lots and lots.
1,400. Oof. Yeah. That's the thing he doesn't know, is just how unrealistic that is for Carthage.
But he'll have probably at least a week to go research what the cost of a war unit is. So he might come back with some more knowledge, and also tends to be go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just it tends to be as you have a little bit of a break, you get a second to kind of crystallize the plans that have been too rushed to really kind of sort out in your head. That break will help with that. So I don't know who it will help more. It might help Marauder more to be like, all right, I got to stop building these ranchers. Or it might help Sion to be like, all right, I really need to commit here. I've got them right where I want them. I've got them locked in. Now let's put all the resources into play to hold that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. It's super interesting to see how much a strategy can change over a week, where you can tell they had that breather, and then the first turn of the next week, they switched to a completely different plan.
Yep.
Something that's just so hard to do in the moment.
Always impressive. Again, this game I always like 4X's for the strategy you put into it, and it's always impressive to me to see the decisions being made real time with so much complexity for them to do this, even if it is turn based, but still in the moment is a lot. It's a lot to be tracked on.
Very interesting how Siontific, we're on turn 765. Siontific does not have access to axemen, spearmen, or archers.
Yep. Just really leveraging the orator opening as Persia which is super cool since we've mostly been seeing the tribes be an asset of Carthage and only Carthage. So it's nice to see that kind of flipped on its head for this game, where the tribes have been very much in Sion's pocket.
Yeah, if you described this game, if you said like, okay, this is Persia versus Carthage, and then you explained what happened without mentioning the nations.
Yeah,
everyone would assume, that Carthage is the one that's in, is in the driver's seat right now.
Cool. Are you casting more today?
Yeah, I'm supposed to jump into the next game, which I think Siontific is casting, so he'll obviously need to leave pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure you're tracking on us anyways, but I'll throw it out there just in case for some reason you weren't. Just remember, no spoilers for this game, so it's gonna be tempting to talk about this with him, but like, nothing. Give him no benefit. Make him beat Marauder entirely on his own. No.
Yeah. Yes, I will. I won't mention anything. It's kind of, I'm sorry, my brain is trying to work through the fact that I'm about to talk to the person who's like doing all the stuff. So, but yes, I will keep quiet.
Cool. Super fun casting with you, Soren. I'm glad you're getting to cast a couple of these. I think it's great for both everyone listening, but also for the community as a whole to see your investment in the game too. It's super cool. So
yeah, this was fun. I know I'll be there for the finals no matter what, and hopefully I can cast a few more, here and there. So.
Awesome. Well, the players are going to call it here, and I think I will as well. I'm going to end Alchris's stream here. Of course, this will be available eventually on Mohawk's playlist for the tournament, but also as an Alchris VOD whenever you guys want to reference it. I'll try to throw a link in the Discord as well for that. And I'm going to go watch the next game too. I'm going to take a break here and then watch the game that you're casting. So looking forward to hearing it.
All right, cool.
Cheers. Yeah, have a good one. Bye. All right, chat. I think this is it for me as well. Again, this is the Old World Community Tournament. That was Soren Johnson, who is, of course, the head of Mohawk and also whose game this is. Very fun to see this tournament continuing, and hopefully we'll keep pressuring Alchris to make more of these for us because it's a super fun game to watch and commentate. Hopefully this wasn't too sporadic jumping around on this, trying to track the conversation, the major things of the game while still not getting too lost in the minutia of every moment of science to science, etc. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next part, which I assume will be next week. And see you guys then. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.